You are about to listen to Only Fools and Collecting, a podcast for those who like a good moan about figure collecting and don't mind naughty words.
Hello everyone, how are we all?
Good evening. Good evening. Good mate, good mate. It's lovely, beautiful late spring evening here in the UK.
Yeah,
Sitting there with the window open. It's quite nice.
Did you cop all the thunderstorms last night?
Yeah, they're pretty cool, weren't they?
It was mental, but it was literally the moment I went, fuck it, I'm fed up watching telly, I'm going to go straight to bed. And the moment my head hit that pillow, the fucking bang! And I was like, fuck's sake.
What is that? Yeah.
So yeah, if I drift off...
Okay, alright, okay. So
as per usual, I'm fucking knackered. But it was not fun. Was not
wouldn't
fun.
have it any other way, mate.
No, but the weather's been super weird lately. It's 1 minute it's boiling, the next minute it's pissing down, then boiling again. So
lovely today.
It's it's been all right. It's not been too bad. So let's have a little look at the chat then, shall we? See who's in. Mr. Badfish, Mr. Ryan, hello sir. Chikar 3, caffeinated comic fans gonna be a bit late, but he's looking forward to it. And obviously,
first in the queue,
first in every time, every single time. Yeah,
I believe Shane will be joining us very soon.
He will be. He's just logging in. So
yeah, we've got Scott Bradley in the chat as well.
And a Facebook user. Hello.
What's up?
What's up? So yeah, we got a good one today, I think.
Yeah, a lot's dropped, I think, in the last few days, as tends to happen with this show. So it's good for us.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, a lot's dropped, and a lot of Star Wars in a very short period of time. So there's going to be a nice little bit to talk about.
Yeah, it's been very good.
Yeah. So I guess we should start off with the bit everyone loves, which is
New this fortnight.
Go on, Pete.
Well, I think it's just me, because you said you got fuck all. And,
Fuck all.
Shane's got a couple of bits which he might talk about when he's in, but he hasn't got any pictures. So I'm continuing. I think on the last show I said I was looking for this guy. This is the sideshow Rebel Fleet Trooper, because I picked up the Captain Antilles and done a body swap and
Here he is.
here he is. Good evening, sir.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. I was
That's all
doing
right,
an unboxing and I lost track of time because I'm an idiot.
Welcome.
Just
No worries.
yeah.
So I'd done a conversion, a body and head sculpt conversion on the Captain Antilles, and I wanted to get hold of this guy, which is kind of like the sort of generic trooper on the Tantive 4 at the start of A New Hope. So finally managed to get one, but not as cheap as I would like. But I thought, you know what, I want to get him, so picked him up, did the body swap. He's got this guy's played by Ed Harris now, but it worked well because a lot of them were sort of older chaps. So and I really like him. Like, the clothing's really nice, and it sits well on on a decent body. So that kind of completes my my Rebel setup there. I think apart from maybe Greedo, I've kind of tracked down all the old sideshow figures that I want now. But Greedo's just ridiculous money. So
Greedo's on another level. You're better off paying someone to make you the clothes and someone to sort you out a head sculpt, because it's fucking insanity.
Yes.
And considering it's not even that good anyway.
No.
It's not the best figure in the world. But then we seem to be paying a premium for absolutely everything at the moment, so it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But that one's always been expensive.
Yeah, but I think if you can pick up any of these old slideshow figures, I think most cases the the clothing and the accessories and the guns and stuff are all as good as a lot of stuff you get today. It's just the dodgy bodies, just chuck them straight in the bin. Some of the head sculpts are passable, but they're too big, and the paintwork's really bad on them. But this is a DID head sculpt again. And it's always a great kind of go-to if you want either just a generic kind of head, or quite often they're based on. This is obviously Ed Harris, and they do a lot of other actual actors and stuff. So you can pick them up for about 30 quid, so it's pretty good. And most of them have necks, which is I think works quite. Obviously, you can buy the body with or without the neck. But I think for these, they're not going to be in a dynamic pose, so I think it works well. Yeah, so that was kind of me. I know you've got some bits, Shane. You haven't got any pictures, but you can talk us through what you got. You can hold it up to the screen, maybe.
This is going to be awkward. I'm sketchy about holding that
Solar
up. Like,
can
but,
that, man.
yeah.
Nice.
So that's
Nice.
the Bat Pod from The Dark Knight Rises. But it's I'm actually surprised by like how, like, I thought it'd be so much heavier. It's actually relatively light, but doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart if I sneeze. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and considering the amount of sneezing done in the last 2 years, yeah, it's it's really nice. I haven't put the batteries in, and I'm actually just going to leave it there. So that's one, and then I got a big box today.
Have you got your Have you got your mic selected, or have you got your earpods?
Sorry, that is a good
Yeah,
one
it's a bit
second.
quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is super expensive mic on screen, and I'm just hearing tin.
1 second. No, you were absolutely right.
Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
we
Perfect.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Perfect.
So loud now. He's. Yeah, thanks for that. Then today, I picked up the Iron Patriot. I picked up this and Rocket. It wasn't a figure I intended to get, but I always kind of admired the colours. And then when the Devil's Workshop, Toys Wonderland, offered I have something to show you here. I thought this was hilarious, but they offered it for $230, and I was like,
It's
it was
not
in
bad.
the I'm going to admire it from afar category. And when I did the maths on their silly worldwide shipping costs and the customs, still worked out really cheap. So I think I got it to my door for, it was like $230. $60 shipping, that's $290, and then the customs, talking about maybe $340. It's on Sideshow for $469 before shipping, you know.
Yeah.
And it still gets
Yeah.
stung for customs. This is hilarious.
Go on.
I'm not sure if that's back to front, but can you see?
A wax seal, a Toys
Yeah,
Wonderland
it's
wax
blood.
seal.
Look at that.
Fucking
This
hell.
is the funniest thing I have seen in ages. They're sending you these letters.
Yeah.
And inside it, it basically says, if you want to send something back, make sure you have an unboxing video. So it literally is sealed. That I thought it was like, oh, it's a 5% discount code.
Yeah.
Nope, it's someone's blood.
So they're literally saying, if you want to send it back, we want a video of you unboxing it.
What they're re-saying is, this is the blood of the last person who sent it back. Right? Yeah. So I think it's like, yeah. FYI, I've never had a problem with it, but I know a lot of people don't like him or whatever, and maybe do have a problem. So, FYI, it's don't open this and read it after you've done the unboxing. Do your unboxing and record it. Yeah, maybe someone might get a bit of value out of that. But
it goes to show, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
if they're having to do that, there must be a problem there. Like people, they must be getting a lot of people opening shit up, and it's just fucked.
Yeah.
For them to have to put something out in like a fucking in a
yeah,
wax
but you
seal.
know,
Yeah.
there was a guy who sent me a message on Instagram. I won't mention any names, and basically said, "I'm after getting a figure. I'm not even going to say the figure, and the figure is defective." And I was like, "All right," and he was like, "They showed me a photo of it," and I was like, "I don't know what you're looking at here. It looked grand." And then was kind of saying that, like, you know, if I send it back, will they refund me? And I'm like, man, like, who am I? Like, you're talking to the wrong people. You know, it's customer service you need to talk to. You know, so he obviously saw me saying that I bought something on him, like, but it's like, you know, I go for the cheapest person. They just happen to be the cheapest person for that item that day. So I was like. I don't know. I thought that was hilarious. Just on that one thing.
So is
one
that
thing
is that the end game version?
the rocket?
No, the Iron Patriot. Which version is it? Sorry.
Yeah, it is. It's the
which
kind
is
of
like the blue and orange.
yeah.
Yeah.
And because I got that cheap, and then I saw Rocket, I was like, okay, I would like to do that display with Rocket on the shoulder, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of that's kind of cool. It'd be a nice companion piece. They're offering a few dollars cheaper than Sideshow, and then I had a few points with them as well, and all on I got a pretty good deal. So Rocket came today as well, so I'm going to obviously pose them up together. I just think it's nice, and Rocket is not someone I'd ever think about getting, but when I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy, I was like, someone explained to me, yeah, there's basically this tree, and then this big WWE guy, he's blue, and then there's like one kind of like, you know, kind of a hunky normal human, and then there's this raccoon that talks. I was like, this sounds awful. And the character of Rocket just won me over, just the humor and everything.
No,
so
he's great.
He
is
I owned
very
the
good.
second version. Obviously I sold off all my Marvel, but yeah, it was a cool little figure.
But it's interesting because like this just blows my mind, right? So that's 230, the Iron Patriot Endgame. It's 469 in Sideshow, and I was on holidays, like I think it was this time a month ago, and I was in Dubai, and I just went to a collector store. $750 was on the shelf for.
Fucking unreal,
like,
That's Dubai for you,
really,
mate.
Yeah.
It makes you question like value, like it's like, and some people will pay it. It's just all relative, really, isn't it?
When you rock up in your gold-plated Aventador, you know that's
Which I did,
pocket change.
obviously.
Yeah, I mean that's nothing, mate. That's
It's all chump change.
yeah. So
the gold-plated G-Wagon just happened to be getting serviced that day, so I couldn't use
Exactly.
that.
You had to slum it.
yeah.
Times are hard, but we will get through them.
Yeah.
So that's cool because you've been waiting for stuff, haven't you? You haven't had anything for a while.
Yeah. There's
And now
patient game there for a
the
while.
floodgates are officially open, I think, as of this week.
Yeah.
As we'll see.
Happy days. Yeah.
So yeah. And Ian's got nothing, so
I've got absolutely fuck all, but I will say a big thank you to Mr. Bob Dylan.
I saw that. Yeah.
I was told to come and curse, bloody bugger bollocks, and then
Shite.
I forgot shite. So
yeah.
thank you very much for the super chat. That's very very good. Yeah, so I've got fuck all because I'm just not feeling it lately, if I'm honest, and there's nothing I really.
In fact, you've gone
really
the opposite. You've cancelled some pre-orders.
I've cleared the decks. I literally cleared the decks, and like I was saying just before we came on, Sideshow have refunded me. I've got a couple of pre-orders, so both the Sideshow Anakin and Obi-Wan gone. Can't be asked with it. Cancelled those. And DX19, no, can't be asked with that either. And yeah, I know I was super up for it, and then I was looking at it and I thought it's just the same shit I used to have, and that's a lot of money to spend to get the same shit I used to have. So I was like, nah, fuck it. I'll wait. I'll find someone who's fucked one, and then I'll get it and fix it. And then
you'll get it cheap because I do believe that if InArt end up doing that suit and not the first one, like I ordered 2 DX19s because I know exactly where I'm going to pose them and what I want to do. Like, and but people, if InArt come out with that one,
yeah, exactly. So I was like, nah, fuck it, can't be asked. So I cancelled the pre-orders, and they said, yep, okay, no worries. Be a couple of days and you get your money back. Happy days. And so I noticed my gift card I used had gone back in. I thought, fantastic, I can use that for Snow Speeder Luke. And then I noticed my PayPal was like every single like payment plan payment, it was doing them all individually. Now my payment method on Sideshow says PayPal. So what they did was they have refunded me back via PayPal, which is perfectly logical. But then what they've done is now on my PayPal, my old expired card isn't on there anymore. It's gone. So I've only got my bank account, my current card. That is it. They'd refunded it back using my old card. And I was like, well, where the fuck's that gone? So none of that came through. And then they'd said that they'd refunded me using my current card on a couple of the newer payments. And I was like, well, that shit's not there either. So where the fuck's my money? So it's kind of gone 2 days now. And I'm like, I'm going to give them till tomorrow and see if it's all suddenly appears in my account. Then otherwise I'm going to have to start fucking phoning up and chasing and going, where's my money? Because at this rate I might as well just kept the figures and then sold them. Like, so it will be interesting to see what happens with that one. But yeah, I've cleared the decks, and I think I went from like 20 pre-orders down to like 6. I think I've only got the Back to the Future stuff on pre-order.
Yeah.
Jesse. I've got Mando.
Yeah.
Snowspeeder Luke, and then the Psycho figure, and I've even cancelled off the Evil Dead one as well because that just looks like a pile of shit. So I was like, nope, not having it. So yeah, I've gone completely the opposite.
Comic fans, he said, I had such a refund the closed account and the bank have disappeared the money.
Brilliant. Yeah, so I need to chase that up.
Yeah.
The thing is that they PayPal don't have that on file. Neither does Sideshow. So why are they refunding it to something that doesn't exist anymore?
Shouldn't it? If they just pressed a button that says send back to original source, that's fair enough. But then it should reject and say not.
Problem is as well is where we're looking at stuff that's been delayed over 2 years. Chances are cards have expired.
Yeah, and I suppose it's just further adds argument to not pre-order.
Why am I bothering to pre-order? Yeah, exactly.
But the account should be the same.
Yeah.
Like, do you know the way?
Yes.
So
yes.
That shouldn't be an issue because when I saw, when the whole Mark 85 Battle Damage got delayed, and I had it well paid off on payment plans, and then I was like, right. Then I see again the Devil's Workshop selling it for half nothing. I was like, I'm just going to cancel this, keep my NRD, and then it was a no-brainer. Saved $150, bang! Like it would be stupid of me not to do that. Bit of hassle, but worth it. Yeah. But they said, we're going to refund you, but it was like that. It didn't come in the one because I didn't pay it in the one.
Yeah.
It did all come back, but I had a similar issue. I was kind of saying, look, my card is cancelled. I paid this on an old card, and they were like saying, but is the account the same? I was like, yeah, I think the credit card account is the same. It's just it's just a card. Yeah, yes. So it's a similar issue, but you were missing payments, are you?
Yeah, so they show up on my PayPal as being completed and refunded, but the bank account it should go into, none of it's here. None of it's gone in there. So they did that. I think it was yesterday that I started to get the emails to say everything had refunded. So I'm giving them. I'll give them till Monday and see if because it could just be a couple of days lag and see what happens.
Yeah.
But normally stuff like that's pretty quick. So I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, I don't need any more aggro. No. I really don't. So
that's MI6, man. That's MI6 flagging your account. Block that. That looks illegitimate.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy's clearly on money laundry.
Yeah, they were like, no.
£200.
Yeah, they were like, nah. Money only goes one way out of Ian's account. It never comes back. Nothing goes in. It's all going out. Like, this must be fucking dodgy. So
Are you feeling okay, Ian? You're gonna get an intervention.
Yeah, just a bunch of doctors at the door going, "Are you okay? You're getting money back. That's not what happens here." Yeah, exactly.
So I assume you're waiting on your DX19, are you? Or two of them, Shane?
Yeah, I got very impatient. The Devil's Workshop. I went second batch because it was cheaper and I had a 20% off discount code. But that was I think I ordered 2 years ago or whatever. Whenever, because I was sitting on this 20% discount code for ages waiting to strike because I wasn't going to use it with a trooper because that defeats the purpose.
No.
So in the one order, I ordered the DX19, the Batpod, the Boba Roba 2 Fett, and the Ahsoka Tano and Grogu, and I was just waiting
nice.
And when I originally tried it, it just took 20% off whichever one of those was the most expensive one, and I was like, no, and I got onto them and I was like, you give me a 20% discount code because you fucked up something. Yeah. So you need to honor this, not on one item, but on everything. And it took me a while, but I was so stubborn. Eventually went, here, we'll just invoice you. And I was like, brilliant. So 20% off all that. Thank you, yoink. And the prices were all like $10, $20 per item cheaper than Sideshow anyway. So patience. So that one should be arriving second batch whenever. And I have one from Toys Buying Agent because I've never used them before and I wanted to try them.
They're brilliant.
That's en route now.
You would not be disappointed. I've had nothing but exemplary service from them.
Question is, do they have a stamp with human DNA?
No, not that I've seen, but maybe he will now that he's seen that. See what the competition's doing.
That's
just the difference is people don't need to send his stuff back.
Yeah. That just cracked me up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, let's have a look at some of this lovely new stuff that's come out,
Yeah.
because otherwise we will be here forever.
New releases.
It's Jango, or Jango's younger brother.
Mexican cousin.
I'm fucking cancelling this as well. This is bullshit. I'm not even gonna. Do you know? It was funny because CW had a discussion about constructive criticism, and I'm just like, nah, fuck it. This is shit.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are we paying this amount of money?
That's what we do
240
here.
quid. Yeah,
We
240
swing
quid.
right
this cost
to
it.
the other end of the pendulum. We're like, do you know
Yeah.
what? We're not even going to go with anything. We're just going to go, it's shit. We don't like it. Move
Yeah.
along.
Yeah, I don't like the head sculpt. I don't know how they could get it that wrong. It just really doesn't look like him.
No.
He
Particularly
looks
when the older
looks
Clone
like Nick
heads were
Cotton.
Fantastic. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, he does actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's fucking terrible. Yeah, anyone in chat doesn't know who Nick Cotton is. He's an EastEnders. He was in EastEnders. He was a nasty bastard.
He was.
He looks. Yeah, the sculpt just doesn't look great.
He was always good to his mum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'll see if
You're not wrong.
Just for people,
Yeah.
I'll bring it up and people
It'll be worth it.
can see a young Nick Cotton. Right, let's get one. There we go. Right, so see if we can. This won't even be worth it. No, I can't fucking get it to share. Anyway, just do yourself a
Google
favour.
it.
Google Nick Cotton, right? It's
Yeah,
fucking
EastEnders.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this. I think I don't know why, but the armour looks really square. Like if you look at the chest armour, it's kind of like it goes flat and then fucks off at a really sharp angle.
Yeah.
And I don't remember it doing that. And I used to have the sideshow version, right? And it was a pain in the arse because the knees and the shins would pop off. 2 seconds with a bit of fucking Pritt stick sorts that cunt out. I don't I don't see the 250 quid here. I really don't.
No.
And they're taking the piss, if I'm honest. I really see. The thing is, I like that bottom right hand picture. I like that. That looks pretty
Because it's
cool.
far away.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
near,
Yes.
far away.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
I bet you like
the
this beer, but it's closer. It's bigger.
Oh no. I like the beer when it's in my hand.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
Sorry.
the problem with something like this is it adds weight to the argument we're going to have a bit later about saying, why would you pay $250 for this, when you could get something like the Gandalf for 400, with Hot Toys prices going up and up as well. They need to be bang on. I mean, I've never been a massive Jango fan. I don't mind, he's in some good scenes in Attack of the Clones. I'll give him that, but as a character, I'm not really that bothered.
I like Jango. I really liked it. I liked the Bounty Hunter game that came out on PS2, and that was fantastic for its time. I played that loads. But this just, I was really looking forward to this, and 250, just no, I can't. If I'm going to start spending that kind of money, I need to make sure it has to be good. It's just, that's not 250 quid sitting right there.
No, and it's too much for a serious modding project as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the time you pay shipping, and by the time you pay tax and all that, no, I'm not paying over £300 for that piece of shit.
Yeah, because it's like if this was like, okay, Attack of the Clones came out 20 years ago, so let's say this was, let's revisit a figure, seeing as it's Attack of the Clones 20th anniversary, and this was 10 years old, you'd be like, wasn't bad for the time, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're so good at Tamora Morrison.
Yeah.
And I know that he's younger here. He's 20 years younger.
Yeah.
Than say like the quarter scale one, which is phenomenal. The Boba Roba 2-pack, again, phenomenal head sculpt. But it just kind of proves as well they're better at the older sculpts.
Yeah.
They need the wrinkles. I think something they can latch onto. But this,
But look
just
at
looks you know,
look at Rex and Cody.
yeah,
They're
that's
only
true,
it's only a
true.
couple of
Yeah.
year difference.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
if
you're
you,
right. You're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
For me,
And-
I'd be looking at getting a spare Cody sculpt
change the
and
hair.
painting in the hair.
Yeah,
To
Yeah.
try and take
no,
the
you're
scar
right.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I actually like I'm not the biggest prequels fan. Like I mean, for me, it's
Mm.
Star Wars is OT, Rogue One, Mandalorian. That's for me. But I'm not the biggest prequels fan. But I can appreciate aspects. I went back and watched the prequels because I've done a pre-order preview video on this and a release reaction video on this, and I said pretty much the same thing. The sculpt I think is off, and there's something about the helmet and the shoulders. You know, like the Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett. He's a bit of a bucket head. But that's
Yeah.
screen accurate because
Yeah.
for the time he was a bit of
Yeah.
a buckethead, and I like that because it's retro looking, it's vintage, it's thrown together. But I remember watching Attack of the Clones, going, his armor's cooler than Boba because it's like his shoulders were broader, and the helmet didn't seem like a buckethead, but
Yeah.
here his shoulders do seem narrow. Maybe that's what the effect you're talking about, the squaring. It's like there's it should be a bit broad around here or something.
Well,
No, it's a pass. for
I
me as well.
don't remember in Attack of the Clones his chest armor having that weird squareness to it. His knee pads 100%, not a problem.
Yeah.
But the whole chest armor is really squared.
I
and,
literally watched it again today.
Yeah.
Because I thought I'd forgotten what he's looked like, and he does not look like this.
No, and that's
you
the
know.
thing. Like, I take Bob's point here. I think we're seeing an older
Yeah.
one, that now the original sculpt looks odd to us, but he just doesn't look like this.
No, it's still
No,
not.
he doesn't.
No.
And he's a
And-
cool
and-
character.
Yeah, and I think the problem is all the other versions. The problem is all the clones are cloned from him. So all the clone troopers are of a certain age, and Revenge of the Sith was only a couple of years later. It wasn't like we're talking 5 to 10 years later. He hasn't aged that much between the two. Like, you look at the Cody sculpt, you look at the Rex one, they're both fantastic. Absolutely nails it. This just, you know, you kind of see it, but just if you said this was a relation, I'd 100% buy it, but I don't buy it as being Jango. This is a cosplayer, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, it's a no for me. It's gonna get cancelled, and then I'll buy a Sideshow one again for like fucking £100 and be happy with
Yeah,
it all.
yeah.
But yeah, so and then we had Mr. Now this I'd quite like Moff Gideon for £208. Yeah, I like this. I really like this, and I think that's more in the ballpark. I like the armor. I like the way, although it's all black, it doesn't all look the same. Yeah,
finishes and
I think the
textures.
costume
Yeah.
design's really good, and I don't mind the sculpt. Everyone hates it, but I don't mind it.
No, I don't mind it, to be honest.
I don't think it's there. I don't hate it.
No.
I think I think in this game, I don't know what it is, but a lot of people they like, oh, it's either awful 0 out of 10 complete crap, or it's a 10 and it's amazing, it's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah,
There
There's
are
no middle
numbers
ground.
1 to 9 in between those.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think this is a 7. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And again,
Yeah.
like if I ever met JC Hong, like, you know, I would be in awe because the talent that these people have for these sculpts, I will always be blown away from that. I don't have that.
Yeah.
I don't have that skill and whatever. And I think even to call it talent is a bit insulting. They've worked hard to
Yeah.
get where they are.
Yeah.
But I being critical, I think this is probably a 7. And it's a shame because Breaking Bad's my favorite TV show, and Breaking Bad really hits off when
Yeah.
Gustavo
Chicken
Fring
Man.
comes into it.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just don't think this is. I think there's something off about it. Like, I can't describe what it is, but it's not John Carlos. I really don't.
Do you think, going back to what Bob was saying in the chat about being used to seeing a character or an actor in a certain way, do you think that's sometimes, because obviously Breaking Bad was quite a while ago,
Yeah.
so he was
he's
quite a lot
bit
younger,
older.
and he's quite
Yeah.
a bit older here. Do you
Yes.
reckon?
Yes.
Do you reckon
No.
you kind of get it in the head? Because I can't.
No,
buy
as in you train yourself that's the image you have. Because no, I don't think so. Like, as in I've looked at pictures of Moff Gideon on the screen, and I've looked next to this, and I just
So what do you
there's
think's
still
off?
something
Is
up.
it what's the main, what's the worst
Okay,
part of it?
I think there's
No,
definitely
I see
a
it
dead
now.
stare.
I've
There's something about the mouth. I think is it his jowl? Is he jowly here or something? As in, like
Yes.
he's wider. He's wider on the figure, I think.
Yeah.
Then I think
yeah,
he has a
yeah.
narrower chin or something. 'Cause I was looking at it the other day. The kind of a bit of a dead stare as well. Okay, they're all dead. They're inanimate objects.
Yeah,
But there is still something about the expression which makes it seem a bit more like bored or something like that. It's just it's a bit beyond neutral.
Yeah, like that. I see what you mean now. His face is a lot skinnier. Like
I
you
think
look
his
better.
face is skinnier.
Yeah, I'd take back what I said. Yeah, he looks like there. It's definitely a lot skinnier, and here. So I get what. Yeah,
And I
get it.
remember looking at it.
The figure looks a bit too old then, a bit too saggy skinned.
probably a bit too wide.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit too wide. Because this was one of the ones for 250 quid. This probably is the last time you're going to see a figure with a head sculpt. 250 quid.
There's our Shoshi.
Yeah. It's long. Like it's compared to like I think the last one we did was a really like short show sheet.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Bit of a beast, this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's okay. I agree with you. I think maybe it's an adequate sculpt. It's not bad. Again, not a character that I'm majorly fussed about.
Yeah,
as
I
say,
think
it's much
if
better.
you walked
I like
into a
him
room, you'd know who it was. Like,
yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
I think the outfit looks great. And you get the
Yeah, it
dark
does.
saber as well, and with the hilt, and
Yeah,
I think with those two troopers behind it, I think that would be the display. You know, a lot of people are
Yeah,
going to pose with the
100%.
death troopers, but I actually think the contrast between the black suit that he has and two nice clean shinies behind would be a nice setup.
Yeah. And then look, I think this is the one most people are keen on. So Hot Toy Snow Speeder Luke, £296 out in Hong Kong. Quite expensive. Quite a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Well, if that's $296 and that's everything, shipping and everything, that's about level pegging with what you're going to pay from Sideshow with fees
Where's
and
that
everything.
price from?
So that was, I believe, that was a Hong Kong based one. Or no, actually, that could be Sideshow. Actually,
Yeah.
I fucking
'cause,
hope not. I hope I'm not spending £296 on that fucker.
Because I checked Toys by an Agent today, and it's about $250 because it is free shipping, and obviously that's a slightly hiked up first batch price, but obviously that is all in, and you probably wouldn't get customs on it. But no, it looks fantastic. I think this is the one. It was this and Jango that everyone was, waiting for. They're both kind of. There's a lot of figures that have come out since, before them that were announced, later. So these ones were kind of dragging their heels a bit. And I think, as you probably realise from what we said about Jango, I think this one wins the contest hands down. To be honest.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah, I've not cancelled this one. I've kept this one. The thing is, I don't particularly like the Hot Toys Luke sculpt. I don't think they've really managed to nail it. But with the helmet on, it's good enough. And I'm never going to display it without the helmet on.
Yeah, 100%. The helmet is the star of the show here.
Yeah.
The weathering on it as well.
That's fantastic.
The blast shield, and you cover up you put the blast shield down as well. It'll cover you.
Yeah.
The tension won't even be on the.
It does a
the
great
face.
job of kind of making that likeness, go from a 7 to a 9 maybe with the helmet on.
Yeah,
So
because it was the same with the Sideshow one. Like you saw it without the helmet on. It was like, oh fuck me, that's not Mark Hamill. And then you put all that gumph on it. Happy days. I mean, did Sideshow one come with that weird skull cap thing?
No, didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Because you can have that on his head completely separate, which is fucking weird. I don't know anyone would.
No, it didn't have that. No, and it didn't have the grapple gun either, which is magnetic, which is quite
This
cool.
is so cool.
Some people are going to try and have him suspended from the upper shelf, which would be quite cool.
From their horses and dogs.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't wait to see how many people fuck it up by doing that.
Yeah,
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Oh, I've chipped the nose or the paint
Yeah.
skill. Can someone touch it up for me? Because I've decided to dangle it off my fucking ceiling. Brilliant. Fantastic.
The thing is, the magnet will
so
hold,
cool.
but it'll just fall out of his hand.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be the shit grip he's got in his hand. You just have it swinging there like a fucking tampon, and he's just splattered on the floor.
Yeah, I heard somebody saying there's no right gloved trigger hand, but then
They
you know
do
what
that all
Hot
the
Toys
time.
do? They go scene specific, don't they? And at no point does he have the gun, a blaster in his hand with his gloves on. So they've
As
gone, we
well,
don't need a trigger finger.
You're
with
not
gloves.
maximising your accessories if you're using the blaster as well. Like for me, I want to use the helmet with the visor down, put the lightsaber hilt there, and have the blaster in the holster, and in his hand have the because you're utilising anything and it doesn't look forced then. Like
And that's the thing. Like normally, I'm like, you don't have to use every accessory going because sometimes it just looks fucking ridiculous. But that picture in the middle where he's got the bulk of everything that comes with it.
Yeah, this is cool, man. This is
I
really
like
cool.
that. I'm gonna nick that pose, and that's probably how I'm gonna have mine displayed. So I like this. Might do a little display base or something. Bit of snow, bit of cheap shitty snow, and away you go. But
so you got it
this is
coming from
by far-
Sideshow. Who have you got it ordered with, Shane?
Yeah, I'm kind of getting out of Sideshow really because they were the ones I used to go to, but now they're just cheaper and faster. So I have 3 left. This and Cable are fully paid off, and I don't know what I was thinking. I think I had points or something, but I ordered the quarter scale Dark Knight trilogy Batman. Like as in, I was always going to get that, but I think it was because I had enough points. I was like, right, I'm just gonna. It made sense to go with them, whatever, sticking on the payment plan. But yeah, this is paid off, and I'm waiting for this. But I'll probably what I'll do is the show before Christmas. I'll come on and I'll show it to you.
I know, yeah. Well, I got an email from him saying your last payment will come out and then it'll be ready to ship like 5th of June, and I got that about
2023.
Yeah. Oddly enough, they left the year off.
You see.
Yeah, crafty fuckers.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'll play your game. I'll see what happens. But I think where I refunded some stuff, I had a $40 gift card, so I've whacked that on it. So now it's like £5 to pay or something stupid like that. So hopefully it will.
Yeah,
it
I've
will
got mine
come
with
out. I'm gonna-
1/6 kit, so I might beat you to the.
There's no might.
Get the jump
You
on this
shall.
one.
Yeah.
And you know you shall. You
I
don't
think-
have. It's okay. We can deal with it.
I
It's
think
fine.
that was the time when I got kicked off of the TNS figures buying group because I was going to buy it through them, and then they kept cancelling my order, so I went with 1/6 kit, and again, they're fantastic. You can't go wrong with kit, so looking forward to this one.
Yeah,
Cool.
100%.
Yeah, me too.
I'm surprised. I'm kind of surprised they did it. Like, it was such a nice surprise when I saw it. I was thinking it's just a scene, like in the orange, the weathered look, the rebel symbol on the helmet, the visor, everything. I just thought this is one of the ones I was most looking forward to. Like,
Yeah.
There's
I
a lot
wanted-
comes
I
with
love
it.
the
There's a lot of
DX19,
detail in it.
but this is
Yeah.
this pops.
Yeah.
The DX19 is still at the end of the day a darker figure. It's not going to pop. This is going to pop on any shelf.
I was like, I had a kit bash one I bought off the groups that someone had started. I kind of finished it off, but it never quite got there. And I wanted the Sideshow one for ages, and the cost of it was just, too much. People, this is going back a few years. People were wanting like 400 quid for it then, and I was like, it's just not worth it. So as soon as they announced this, I was like, yep, I want it.
What's that, the Sideshow one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I owned it for a while. It was okay. It was a rare one of Sideshow's, decent
Decent
offerings.
ones.
Throw it in throw it in the corner with the originally version 1 of the Mythos Obi. You know, can't think of anything else, but you know, they occasionally blunder into making a decent figure, and it was good. It was good for the time, but
Sure.
you know, this is obviously far superior.
Yeah, definitely. So look, while we're on Rocket Man, we've got the Black Pork Toys, the Rocketeer, £200. The molten diarrhea effect isn't my favourite because it looks as though it's a cock made completely out of fire, because it's even got a nice little bell end bit at the top.
It does.
So
No,
everything
you
else
just
I
can't,
quite
you
like.
can't unsee it. You just can't unsee it.
No, now you see it, and particularly it's kind of rubbing up, it's rubbing up against him, and he looks very uncomfortable by it. But for £200, people have wanted a Rocketeer for ages, so I think this is probably a pretty good purchase. I mean, I wouldn't use that effect, because I don't want molten penises everywhere. But the rest of it looks pretty good.
It does look pretty good. I mean, obviously we've got, you were talking about bucket heads. Obviously we've got a huge dustbin head here, and this is the problem. Is obviously that they've gone with a helmet that will fit over the head skull. Yeah,
The dress effect piece.
That will fit over the head skull with quite a fair bit of sculpted hair on there. So it's one of those ones where you'd have been better off having. I know it's cost and everything, but giving you a second
swap out
head sculpt, swap out head
But
sculpt.
from what I remember, he was quite bucket-headed in the film.
It is quite big, but if you look at the pictures, it's not that big. It's probably 15,
It's
20%
kind of like
too big.
Spaceballs big.
Yeah, it is a bit.
Yeah,
too
no,
big.
I've just googled it.
Yeah, which is a shame because I think everything else looks fantastic.
Quite a bit bigger.
And the problem with the flame effects, I know that you quite like the one you've got with your is it the ketchup trooper, isn't it?
The
flame
Mando
is,
flame effects are pretty good.
flame is not shiny. Flame is like a matte. So when they do it out of this kind of see-through, it just doesn't look right. I don't know how they've done the ones with the stormtroopers. But
I tend not to use them, but I do like that one. I like the Mandalorian one as well.
Yeah, the Mando one's the only one I really of that type of effect that I use. The others are a little bit ropey. They kind of the same as the like the lightning effect you get, where you kind of go, nah.
No,
Like
the
the
lightning
electro.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if you want to get this, save yourself the money and get the regular version that basically just doesn't come with the
Flame penis.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
everyone's a winner there, really.
Do yourself and this figure a favor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I suppose the only question is the longevity of all of the what I assume is pleather.
It looks very very pleathery.
Jacket. Now we'll be alright in this kind of part of the globe, but if you live anywhere with any hint of humidity, this guy's going to be in his birthday suit pretty within a couple of years. But,
Yeah, he's going to be flaky.
Yeah, definitely. You can treat them with stuff, but obviously because it's not real leather, then you can treat it, but it's not treating it in the correct way that a leather treatment would be treating leather, if you like, because it's not going to penetrate the material. It's kind of just going to give it a bit of an overlayer. But it looks good. I like it, and I like to see something a bit different coming out.
Yeah. I just can't be asked to lube up my figures.
No, like people say they periodically lube up all their stuff, and I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know what they do with it really. For it needs to be dripping wet with some kind of lube.
No, definitely not.
No. Particularly Hulk figures. That'll leave you walking funny, won't it? Jesus.
I was really trying to hold it together there for a while.
Yeah, ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen, mate. So look, let's have a look at what's coming out.
Coming soon.
I don't know if anyone knows about this InArt Gandalf, because no
Well,
one
do
ever
tell.
talks about it. Yeah, no one talks about it. So this is the InArt Gandalf, 415 quid out Q2 2023. What do you guys think?
Do you want to go
Too
first, Pete?
expensive. Yeah, I'll go first because I'll be interested to, because I know that you ordered the Joker set, Shane. So I kind of you might have a different spin on this. I love Gandalf as a character. Probably not quite as passionate as Zach, but he's a great character. I love Ian McKellen's portrayal of everything. I've got obviously a lot of Lord of the Rings stuff. I think it's good. All of the soft goods, the clothing, everything looks great. Obviously, the routing is fantastic. Not 100% sure on the sculpt. I kind of, again, a bit like with the Moff Gideon. It's not quite as off as that, but obviously who it is, and even you just saw the head, you know who it is. But I think for £400 plus, for me, it would need to be absolutely 100%. And it's one of those things where when someone shows you who it really looks like, you can't get it out of your head. And obviously Robert De Niro is superimposed on that quite a lot, and actually it does bear quite a strong resemblance to him. And I think it's the nose, because to me the nose is probably not really bulbous enough. The eyes are, he's got Ian McKellen's got quite sort of larger, wider open eyes with the bags and stuff. And don't get me wrong, I mean the skin tone and the wrinkles and everything, and the paintwork on this is fantastic. Accessories, yeah, looks good. I mean, if that's the hat looks really good. It comes with two swords. The debate is whether or not one is permanently sheathed and one is. I don't know what the. It's difficult. They haven't really sort of described why there's two swords. You get the ring. You get the envelope that the ring goes into. You get the little moth. You get the book. And obviously, Zach's gone on a lot about the fact that you've kind of got a mixture of scenes here. So the staff he's got here is the staff that he has at the beginning of Fellowship of the Ring, which he then loses to Saruman, and then he gets given a new staff at Rivendell. So you've kind of got, but then you've got the book from Moria and bits and pieces. So it's not. It would have been nice to see the Moria staff, particularly because it obviously has a crystal in it, and they could very easily have lit that up, and then that adds to that. If you're paying that kind of premium, oh, okay, it's got a light up staff, USB light up. That's nice, that. I think
Bob here with the super chat.
Bob.
Thanks, mate. Call me Bob the Barrel because I'm passing on Hobo Magneto.
yes.
I like that.
Well, obviously,
I
I've
like that a
renamed
lot.
myself to Pete. Yes, I think I shall pass cast tonight. If I got one, if someone gave it to me as a gift, I wouldn't say no.
And keep that friend forever.
Yeah, definitely.
Forever.
We'll get in. I mean, my major gripe is obviously the price, and that's not me saying that I don't think that the work isn't worth that price. But to me, we're going to talk about it a bit later. But suddenly, we were talking about 250 for figures. We've broken the £300 mark with these die cast Iron Mans and Iron Pages and stuff, and everyone's kind of reassessed their limits and gone, well, yeah, I'd really like that one, but this has kind of gone, it's smashed through that £300 ceiling. It's gone. It's not 300. It's not 325. It's not 350. It's 400. And I know that obviously that's sort of similar to the price per figure of the Joker 2-pack. So I, the only thing that I can say that's positive is the fact that I'm not too upset about not ordering it, because I don't think it's 100%, particularly with the sculpt. If it was, I'd be a little bit more upset, and I might be kind of trying to justify it to myself, but I don't think I can. I think if you'd said to me, 10 years ago when I got into this hobby, that I would be looking at £400 for, a single figure, I'd have kind of, said no, that's not happening. So if you can, if you've ordered him and you can kind of either that you've got oodles of money and it doesn't really matter to you, or that your collection is focused enough that you can just say, actually, I'm quite happy to just have 20 figures at £400 or £500, and they obviously are absolute works of art. Or like myself, I've tried to narrow down my collection, but it's still quite a diverse range of stuff, and I couldn't. There's nothing there that I could go, actually, I'm happy to get rid of 2 or 3 of these figures to go for this. And in this day and age, I'd find it very hard to justify paying £400 for this figure. So yeah, that's my little rant. So Shane, you've having ordered the Joker 2-pack, what's your take on this fellow?
It's not too dissimilar to you. The only difference is I like Lord of the Rings. Like I like Lord of the Rings, but I don't love or collect Lord of the Rings. You collect Lord of the Rings, and I don't. Yes. So I saw this and I went, glad I'm not in that dilemma.
Yeah, it's an easy choice.
Because if the head sculpt was spot on, which I do think you hit the nail on the head. You said for that price, which is very high, you want everything to be perfect, but you question the head sculpt. You shouldn't be even questioning the head sculpt.
No.
Because for that price, you shouldn't. And you compared it to Moff Gideon, you feel the same, but the head sculpt on this as you do Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon's 250 quid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, like, for me, I'm glad that I don't have this dilemma because I don't collect Lord of the Rings. But the Ledger Joker is way closer. There's no competition to Ledger than this is to Ian McClelland. And Ben from Detention Seeking Geek, from we do a weekly show with Lael there on Sundays. He said he didn't hear anyone complaining about, or didn't hear too many people complaining about the price of the InArt Joker because everyone got kind of possessed and swept up in it. And I was like, yeah, that's because the prototype images and videos were so damn good. But if they don't match, you're going to hear everyone complaining about it.
Yes.
But for this, like, we shouldn't be questioning that sculpt at all for that price. No. And someone said the Robert De Niro thing to me, and I find it hard to.
You can't unsee it now, can you?
Unsee it now. Like, it's proportions wise, I think it's bang on. And the accessories, they're Gandalf's accessories, and I think the rooted hair and beard, I think that looks fantastic. But it's just something about the. I don't know, it is something about the sculpt is not, like, even before I saw other people having this discussion, the initial photo was like, that's not too overwhelming, you know what I mean? Whereas when I saw the Ledger joke come out, I was like, wow, that's bang on. And then people would say, but you're just biased because you really, really like the Joker. Yeah, I am, but it'll also make me more particular. You know what I mean?
I think I'd agree that I think a lot of the debate over the Joker figures was all about the price, because that was the first one that they'd solicited, and that everyone was debating about what the kind of price would be, and also, was it necessary to make die-cast bullets and stuff like that? But I didn't see anybody criticising the head sculpts, and as you say, at that price,
and the jacket fit, the coat, the way it fits so nicely,
perfect.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at the other Ledger offerings, there's such a massive improvement. So, and like I say, with the jacket, the sculpt, everything, where, even if you'd had the DX11 and everyone's like, oh, I love that thing, although it's a piece of shit, it's not great. Even if you had the upgraded coats and, you'd gone to fully fledged fucking custom suits, it was such a clear improvement over that. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of the Crown Series Asmus, but I'm not seeing hundreds of pounds worth of improvement over that. And that's the problem, is that when you kind of look at it and you go, all right, the sculpt's not 100% there. Now, personally, I look at this and I see Gandalf, and fine, not a problem. But it's just for what was it, 450 or 415?
Yeah.
For 415.
410, 415, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's not far off I paid for my first car. Now,
Wow.
I like the hat. I think the clothes hang really well. The accessories all look really well detailed, but like you said, they don't quite make sense.
No.
So if you did put them all on him, it doesn't make that much sense. I think as soon as you put the hat on, it looks really weird. And that's, it's just... The problem is, once we start to get into the realms of this kind of money, we have every single right to start going, no.
You know, why couldn't it come with all 3 staffs? Because the Asmus one did. You know, not even the Crown one. The first one came with all 3 staffs.
Yeah, and one of those big birds.
Oh, well, yeah, that'd
Come
be good.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, there's stuff here that they're trying to push the envelope. There's stuff here, like, giving you magnetised hands for this makes no sense. Right? To me, it just makes no sense. They're completely hidden.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you're going to give that magnetised hands, like I said before, magnets tend to do this. They tend to spin.
Yeah.
I don't know how magnetised hands are going to work.
And you
I
can't
think they're
get any flex of the.
No, I don't know how you'll go, and that's really important for posing. But with Gandalf, like particularly in the poses they've got here, he's not really, don't get me wrong, he's not Spider-Man. He's not going to be jumping all over the place. I just think, when we talk about the way they could probably cut the cost down a bit, why pegs all of a sudden a problem?
I know. To be honest, I'm so underwhelmed by the magnet thing. I know that on CW they're saying how, that they're pushing the boundaries of what and it's really
are they though
innovative, but I don't think it is. And
no,
I've got magnets on my fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's a little Paris
anyone,
one
and as Shane
anyone right now can take any of these figures and put magnets in the feet. You put it in you put an earth magnet in the shoe, and then all you're doing is on your stand is you're putting a little metal plate in it, and then boom.
But you can pose these figures without a stand. It is possible. Your man here, Shane, you don't use stands, do you?
No, I don't use stands.
No.
No.
And,
I also don't have kids running around. And if I did,
That's
they wouldn't be getting in here anyway.
Exactly.
That's Daddy's room.
Yeah.
So no, I don't use stands, but like
I use stands, and they don't bother me. And I think if you're paying, 50, 60 quid of this is because they've gone with magnets, then I don't think you're really getting anything. And as Ian says, it may well be that it causes an issue with the hands. I mean, obviously the Joker's going to come out first before this, so that'll be the real eye opener, won't it?
To me, the Joker kind of makes sense because
it's exposed.
It's going to be here on the elbow. You can see the wrists quite a lot.
Yeah.
In this, he's got hand wraps. It just Bob Dylan just says magnets tend to prefer a certain orientation.
Yeah.
With limit posing options. Yeah.
Correct. They'll go opposite ways. Yeah. But
I'll use the stand for certain ones, like this one. The Mark 6 there as a stand just looks well, and it's in a centerpiece. But I don't want to use stands unless it doesn't make sense. Like I have a Superman levitating slightly, so he needs that dynamic stand. So I will use a stand for the Joker though, because it's a classy looking stand. But Like, let's say if you have IG88, did IG88 come with that silly sand base with human footprints?
He did, with the human footprints. He did, yeah.
Just looks unnecessary, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And clunky. So, like, no, depends.
I see Bob's asking you to chime in because you're a science teacher.
Oh yeah, magnets. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I think the Joker makes sense because you can hide the wrists. You know, you can just put the magnets under the coat. It's just innovation for the sake of innovation. Like that's what they're doing in this case here.
You know, and who did that last? Molecule 8. You know, and that everyone was like, "Wow, that's incredible." You know, a magnetized base and all that kind of thing. But
and where are they now?
Yeah, exactly. And that's not to say that these figures are. Obviously, Queen is an established company, and these figures do look great. But I just think, you don't need that, and it's just probably added unnecessary cost.
Problem is as well is they haven't actually released anything yet. They still haven't released a 6-scale figure. So
no, this is the thing. So that Joker is going to be, it's got to nail it, because
if that's so much as a hair out of place on that fucking thing,
it's a
God help them. God help them. Because that'll have an impact on everything else.
Yeah, and going back to what you said about the crown series, I think when it actually released, I think its full price was over 300. It was like 350 or something ridiculous. It was very expensive. So obviously, if this is only 60 quid more, then it's not a massive markup. But then, the crown series was massively overpriced anyway. I know it comes with the base, which you can't really fit anything on.
That base was insane.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoever signed that off, there's a good idea. So much crap. You almost want to have him standing next to it and not actually on it. Yeah,
but the only good thing is if you don't mind the crown, then you probably pick one up for a couple of £100, because they're being offloaded left, right, and centre now with people signing up for these. So
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, that's a no from us. We're not. We're not into it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see as a company what they're going to put out.
Oh, me too. Don't get me wrong. I look forward to seeing what it comes out with, and obviously, again with this.
Wow, Bob! Thank you very much.
Oh wow, fantastic!
Thank you very, very much.
He's fallen.
He is. He is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my top off soon. Thanks. So Tony Stark Workshop have magnetic swap out arms at the elbow, but if you try to rotate them, sometimes magnets force them back to their preferred alignment. So not new tech in art. No, and that's what I was on about with the Joker. Is that they will, and particularly sometimes as well, if you've got something heavy in the hand, and it's just off of kilter, it will just pull it over. So earth magnets are great at that, but not so much great at that. So it will be interesting to see.
And I think with this one, possibly more than the Joker, because the Joker's outfit is quite tight fitting and everything. When you package that away, that's okay. It's not going to get messed up too much. His hair is quite long, but it's not. The problem with this one is how they're going to package it. How they're going to make sure that when you get that out of the box, that it's going to look like we've got here with the drape, with the beard. Looking at how much futzing is it going to need? Is it going to need water treating? And obviously there are people that can do that. We don't mind doing all that stuff, but I can just see some of these coming out the box looking quite hideous because the packaging has kind of messed them up a bit, and people think, oh well, I can't touch it because it's £400 figure.
See, I completely agree with Bob here. I'd much prefer like the well box type swap out forearms and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you know, like it's probably me like underutilizing a figure's features, but like I went with the 2-pack rooted and I got the sculpted as well. Like, so I feel like I just put on a bet and I'm holding my breath as it work. But in my head, like, if one of them, if it looks like the prototype images, and I can pull off that grenades pose, that's a set and forget for me. And the other one is just that kind of hit me pose when he's driving into me. He's holding the gun and he's just standing up straight down. That's all I want to do. And obviously the one of the with the jail cell in the background is the clapping pose. If I can do those 3 separate orientations, and it stays in those places, and it looks exactly or close, 99% of the, I'm happy. But I'm easy pleased in that sense. But the only drawback is that these people who say, "Oh, you can't expect the prototype." Yes, I do. You've shown me a picture of it. You showed me a video of it. That's what makes me give you my money. I do expect that. But these people, you kind of expect some slippage. Ugh.
That's the thing. We've kind of got used to it with Hot Toys, and back when they were a lot cheaper, not a problem, fine. I don't mind if you'll give me a rough idea, and as long as it's close to that, I'm quite happy. But when you start to punch 300, 350, 400, that's when you show me, because I don't do it anywhere else. I didn't see a picture of my iPhone, and go, yep, okay, I like that, and then I buy it and get out and go, oh, it's a little bit smaller, it's a completely different colour, and actually I can't actually send a text message. They said I could. I don't go.
Snake. You need to play Snake.
Yeah, exactly. I don't go. Yeah. Oh, actually, it hasn't got all of that, but I'm fine. There's always a little bit of drop off. It's bullshit. Yes. It's bollocks. Yeah. So why do we put up with it? Particularly as we're punching those higher.
You're right.
numbers.
I mean, you can. The further you get down the price scale, you can accept it a bit. But when you're at 400 plus,
it doesn't work the other way.
It has to be
so long.
Perfect. And I mean, I'm talking, it has to match this prototype. For me, I'd need them to tweak that sculpt and get it.
Yeah.
But before I'd even consider it, and I don't think I would even. The price just puts me out of it. I think even if it was 100%, because at the end of the day, it is a 6 scale figure, so that head sculpt is as much as I'm saying that it needs to be perfect. It's it's a couple of inches tall. Not even that, an inch tall.
Yeah, and you can't lose sight of that.
If to get the most out of a figure like this, you want to be like holding it right in front of your face all the time and admiring it. And when you've got it in a cabinet, perhaps with other figures, you're what you've paid that extra 150 quid for, you're not really getting that. I wouldn't feel like I was getting the most value out of the figure unless I constantly had it like on the coffee table and I was always looking at it and so in that respect, I'd expect total realism, but I'd rather pay. I'd be happy with this sculpt if this was 200 quid. I would accept that it wasn't perfect, but it's
twice that.
It's
more.
It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one.
So just going back to the Joker again, like just the sculpt on it. I was like, how can you actually make a real person that small? And I really was one of those sculpts that just did kind of knock me for six. Like, but again, could you imagine like if it turns out shit? Like, I've ordered them, I'm invested, but it would be, you just have to try to look at the bright side, whip out the popcorn, and just because it would be,
it'd be chaos, be frightening in the streets.
And I don't know whether, and obviously, just as a lot sort of a last point, I suppose the thing with the Joker is he's although he's got the clown makeup, it's his whole face, he's clean shaven, so you've got to get that right because there's nowhere to hide. Whereas with this, a lot of the head and the lower face is all covered with this beard. Yeah. So, there's two sides to it. Either that they feel like they can probably get away with it being not quite as accurate because a lot of it is taken up by that, but at the same time you are concentrating on that, his eyes and his nose, and if that's not right, then it doesn't matter how good the routing is. You're drawn to the fact that it looks like Gandalf, but it doesn't necessarily look like Ian McKellen. Yeah. It's but very interested to see how this and the Joker come out, in hand. looking forward to see Legolas. So we've got, obviously they've teased Legolas and Aragorn as well. Legolas, I think Asmus have done a good enough job, unless you're really bothered about having the rooted plaited hair, which is what you'll be paying the majority of your 400 quid for. Because they're all going to be pretty much the same price, I'd imagine. The Aragorn is the only one that I'd be interested, but again, the price will put me off. But because nobody's nailed Vigo, that if they could nail his likeness, then that would be a consideration. But we'd have to see on that. But
yeah.
So anyway, it's good. I think it's sparked a lot of chat, a lot of debate in the community. But I would be interested to know how many people, like we'll talk about it a bit later, how many people feel that this hobby is now stretched beyond their means.
Yeah. So next up, we have the Hot Toys Doctor Strange from the latest multiverse of Madness film. This is 279 quid, out July to December 2023. Thing is, I'm out of Marvel. I'm done. But this doesn't look too bad to me. I think it's probably the best head sculpt so far.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I don't know, their photoshopping, blurring skills are utter shit. What's the point? Like,
He's
really,
just got a scar on his head.
Yeah.
We're going to fool everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that version of Doctor Strange where he just has a vagina on his forehead. Everyone knows it. So just what's the fucking point? But look, I'm out of the Marvel game. But this doesn't offend me. It looks pretty good. But again, we're hitting 280.
Yeah.
It's just getting.
Yeah.
For a Doctor Strange, where we've already had a few different versions, I think his robes are a bit different.
He's got more of the kind of classic look. He's got kind of like a cross pattern on his sort of tunic. I think it's good. Again, I don't collect Marvel now. I think all of the Strangers have been pretty good figures in their own right. So I agree that this sculpt looks the strongest when you see the JC Hong prototypes. It's fantastic, and I've always liked. I think I've come close to buying when I did have Marvel, buying the first one and the second one, because I think you get a lot in terms of the outfit and accessories and stuff like that. So they're always nice figures, and we'll get onto it later. But the film was good. I enjoyed the film. Thought he was good in that. So, but yeah, and it just, like you said, you kind of thought that more competition might drive prices down, but then I look at that and you say 280, and then Gandalf's 400. You can kind of, it starts making that look, I don't know, more acceptable. 280 for this is ridiculous, I think.
Like I said, we'll talk about price later, but for me, it's almost like I look at the price, I look at the figure, and I kind of go, no, it's just not worth it. It's not something I'd probably go for. So it's a no from me.
How about you, Shane?
Are we talking about the film later on?
Yeah. Spoiler free, because Ian's not seen it.
I've not seen it.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a little chat about the film in the film and
so,
TV section. But
I'm going to say, first of all, I didn't like the film.
You didn't like it? You hated it, or you just were a bit like,
I think I tend not to say I hate things.
Yeah.
I think I saved that stuff for like murderers.
Yeah, fair enough.
I kind of just I just thought it was very, 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 very weak, to be honest. We'll talk about it later anyway.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
With that being said, like, I don't have a Strange in my collection. I'm not the biggest Doctor Strange fan.
No.
But if I had to get one representation, that head sculpt is fantastic.
It is, yeah.
But what kind of turns me off it is definitely the price without a doubt, is too expensive for this. And again, we can say inflation or whatever, but no, they're taking liberties. It's too expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
The head sculpt is phenomenal. The outfit looks great, but all the outfits look great. In fact, one of the things that got me thinking about getting one of the Doctor Strangers was how, like, the fact that heavily layered outfit could end up looking like a Michelin Man, but they must have a nice skinny body underneath and layer it down properly. I think it looks very well. But I think if you're getting one, the best value is probably the No Way Home one, because it comes with loads of stuff. It comes with like a cauldron and a nice base and all these like spell effects and stuff. Whereas this one, besides the head sculpt, which looks great, and the extra head sculpt and the dragons, the rest of the stuff is kind of more the same. So no, I don't have a Strange in my collection, but this is going to sit, and so is the No Way Home one. So wait long enough, be patient, and bang, get a deal if you really want it. But no, I'm not going to pick this up.
Yeah, I think it's it's definitely a no from most of us. So that was 279. So for 275, you can get a Toys Era 1/6 scale, the Scavenger, out Q4 2022. So this has been quite a funny one. So originally this came out with teeny tiny wings, and everyone was like, "Oh, those wings are tiny," and lots of people piped up and went, "Actually, I quite like that because of I can get it in my collection." Then all of a sudden, Toys Era turned around and went, "We've heard what you've said, and we're going to give you bigger wings." So they literally have now made the wings substantially bigger. So I don't know how many people are actually going to like that, and how many people aren't. I think some people found the tiny wings quite funny, and other people kind of were quite thankful that you could probably get it in a display case a bit better.
This is the thing, isn't it? It's obviously we've got this one, and we've got the next slide is the Eternal Toys one. So you've got kind of, and you've also got obviously the other end of the scale. You've got the Jazzing dioramas. I think you're right that unknowingly they'd kind of given themselves a bit of a USP by having the smaller wingspan, because people were thinking, actually I might be able to fit this in my display. I can't fit the 4 foot wingspan of the Jazzing or the 3.5 foot of the other one, but this I could do. So it's a kind of like it's a catch-22, because they've gone, actually we're going to make it more accurate, but then it might be, actually I'm not going to buy it now because it's too big. So it's difficult. I mean, we talked about, and it's weird because they've obviously designed these wings. How are they going to just suddenly add that extra? They're just going to add a panel in, or they're going to size everything up. Seems a bit weird.
Are they just going to scale it up?
Yeah, because how did they come up with the
well?
measurements in the first place? Yeah.
I mean, on the whole, I think it looks pretty good. But we're still punching those high numbers. But I kind of this kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
with those
you're getting a
numbers.
massive, great exoskeleton, and you've got 2 head sculpts. This is the better of the 2 head sculpts, I would say, than the and obviously the Jazzing one doesn't come with an unmasked portrait. So the other one is obviously the.
So the other one is the Eternal Toys Air Predator. And that is 195 quid, and that's at Q3 2022.
So quite a bit cheaper.
And I think this is the one that's a recast of Rocco's sculpt that he did a few years back.
Doesn't look great.
No, it's one of his older ones. And the ones, when you see the proper ones he did, they look a lot better than that. So I feel a bit bad for him because he's getting a bit of so someone's nicked his work and he's getting a bit of a kick in for
it's like what
a shitty recast.
Years ago.
But
because he's revisited a lot of his sculpts, and they're definitely a lot better than the previous versions.
He's done a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean it's a big price to him as well. 80 quid, so it's not just pocket change, is it?
No.
So Toys Era is kind of, he's obviously in this fairly established company. They've done some good figures. They did the goblin and stuff like that. So they're kind of, you know, you can trust them a bit more. I don't know. I've not seen anything from Eternal Toys before this.
No, and this is, and the main picture of it is it's just a render.
Yeah, everything
You've got a couple
here
of
looks like
close-ups.
a render, to be honest, apart from maybe the sculpt. The guns are render, the bases are render. So, you know, it's a real unknown prospect, this one, but obviously, you know, it's 80 quid less, so which one do you go with? I couldn't give a two hoots about the you know, bird joke there, about this, really. I didn't mind the film. I quite enjoyed the film. I found the character, you know, and I think Michael Keaton's good in the film. He's a great actor, but the character just doesn't do too much for me. It's not saying
I don't know if this is just an urban legend, but apparently in the fight scenes he kept whispering to Tom Holland that he was Batman. That comes up a lot.
True.
Yeah, exactly. And I think at this point I'm wanting it to be true more than it probably is true. But that would be amazing. Just any time they're fighting, I'm Batman. Would be fantastic. But yeah, I mean, like I say, I'm not that bothered about the character. I think it's a bit of a shame that Jazz Inc. Obviously people wanted this, they've gone for it, and it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy because companies have gone, look how many people are getting that. Oh, we can make that super cheap. So it's kind of like, I do wonder, like, if it keeps getting to the point where he's making stuff, putting all that R&D in, gets to a certain point, and then three Chinese companies go, we've made cheaper ones. Is he ever
and then everyone's saying that the Hot Toys are going to bring
point?
one out and stuff. But I mean, the Hot Toys one would be 400 or 500 quid, wouldn't it? So it's you know, it's
I'd say it could be more
Mr. John.
considering that Doctor Strange is 335.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
So you know, you'd be getting up closer to the to Jazz Inc.'s one anyway, which is about £700.
Silly.
Yeah,
So,
it's just starting to get fucking.
I think
mental.
you've got to really love this character or that design of suit to want to kind of lay out that sort of money.
Yeah.
If you're going with one, you know, the high end one.
Like I actually really like Homecoming, and I did, you know, like the character, and I like Michael Keaton's portrayal, and what I really like is the way the MCU don't do direct lifts from comic book page to screen, because that would look really shit a lot of the time. It's like everyone would be wearing pajamas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a bit like they
So
did with
were
the
like,
X-Men.
okay, how can we tie this into the MCU world? It's a battle in New York, and you know, they have the fur, which is going to nod to the vulture, and the eyes. And I think they do it really clever, like, you know, and it looks cool. But yeah, I don't know if I'm a fan of the whole true 1/6 scale, but also, where am I going to put it?
Like, that's the thing.
You
It's
know
so
what I mean?
fucking big.
There's a lot of things I'd like. Where am I going to put it? Tumblr, love it. Where am I going to put it? I'm not going to buy it, just have it in a box. I'm just like, oh, here's a footrest. Like, it's, you know, I'm not going to put it. Just go to the attic, and then that's a waste of what, 700 quid?
Yeah.
No. They're not looking at it at all, are you? So we've also got the Yan Toys Puzzle Man for 125, and that's at Q4 2022. I like this weird pervert in a gimp mask. I think for 150 this is pretty good. 125 this is pretty good. I think it's probably, you know, if you pre-ordered the Batman, shit like this for around 120, 125 is probably a no-brainer. And the good thing about this as well is if you wanted to, you don't necessarily have to have him as the Riddler. That's why they've given you that sniper rifle and shit like that, is actually you could have a couple of these with Batman as like the goons. So I don't mind this. This is, you know, this is cheap as chips. It's worth, for me, it's one of those, if you've ordered the Batman, this is a really good companion piece to go with it. So Ryan's saying it's Staff Toys, one of their other names.
Yeah, I heard that.
I mean, to be fair, I think the whole world and his wife are going to be start knocking these out because it's relatively simple.
I did see that Kit had said that this they've added an accessory. They've added the duct tape, which the other one we're about to see has got solicited in the picture, but this one's going to come with the roller duct tape now as well.
Yeah, because there's also the 6 feet Lane Studios, the Conundrum.
names.
Fucking, it's a fucking mouthful, in it. I mean, fuck me. That's 120 out Q3 2020. Jam packed with accessories.
Yeah,
got a fair bit here. Much the same as the other one, really, though. It's literally
so
choice.
I don't know whether or not the other one had planned the duct tape, or whether it was a reaction to this one coming out. But yeah, it's very much like this one with the unrolling one.
Yeah.
I don't know if it comes with this one as the one. With
I mean, even with the duct tape, you've still got a lot more there. I don't know why they felt the
Yeah.
need to put his shoes in as an accessory, because that's just weird.
Yeah, yeah, you do get more with this one,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
For
I like the coffee mug.
for less
Yeah, that's
money
kinda
as
cool.
well. So,
I think I like.
but then if this is
proportions.
Daft Toys, then is the quality of the. I know it's a simple outfit, but obviously the coat is the outfit really. So you need that to be
Yeah,
brilliant,
like this.
really well
I've
made,
only,
don't you?
only 2 third parties, and because I just find I find it rarely that I like the third party more than the official licensed version. But the 2 third parties, and they're both Daft Toys. I just find it interesting the way when that Puzzle Man popped up, I was instantly like, "Oh, that looks really good," and I didn't realize it was Daft Toys until someone mentioned it to me. It's like,
Yeah.
do you know when you really like a director and you watch this film and you don't know what's by the director you like, but you really like the movie, and you're like, "Oh, that makes sense," because
There was something about that yeah.
So but there was something about that Jan Toys did catch my eye, and it's cheap. And I was thinking, it has the sniper rifle. I was like, oh, you could make him like the Goons in the end.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking, didn't he probably use the sniper rifle to? You've both seen the movie, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yes, he
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
To shoot Falcone as well. So
He did, but you never really saw him with it. Like, you just
True,
saw like a silhouette. Mind you, right, the funny thing about the Batman film is I loved it in the cinema, got a copy, I've tried to watch it 3 times now and I keep falling asleep. Like, I don't know if it's just because I'm putting it on too late, but I noticed a massive difference between watching it at home and in the cinema, where in the cinema it was so dark you could barely fucking see, to watching it at home on my TV where I'm like, I didn't even know that fucker was in the background.
No.
Like, where you just can't see what the fuck's happening. Like, I got to the nightclub bit where he goes in and he just starts beating people up. I could make everything out. I could see what was going on. I could see there were people about. It was fantastic.
Did they brighten it a bit, you think, for the?
I don't know if it's just that my telly's set with a brighter setting,
Yeah.
but because I haven't asked about with my settings, I've just left it.
I don't know what Jack Sparrow did with it, but the only thing that annoyed me was that it had because I was watching it on the projector. Obviously, you can resize, so it's a wide aspect ratio, and normally it's obviously projecting, but it's normally black. But for some annoying reason, the above and below the image on that one we were watching, it's like quite a light grey. So it was really quite off-putting because it was then projecting this grey above and below the screen, and obviously making it lighter in the room. And so I might actually pick that one up on disc at some point.
But yeah, I noticed
I can't
a big
complain,
old
it was
difference.
free, but it's a good film. I don't think you're falling asleep because you're not enjoying it. I think it's a long film. It's it's got lots of kind of quieter bits, dialogue and everything. I think it's quite easy to kind of just nod off. I think
I'm getting older now,
watching it
Pete.
late and-
I'm
I know.
getting older.
This is
I
the thing,
can't-
like Picard. I've watched Picard, and my missus always laughs because I say I always fall asleep in it. She's like, "Oh, it must be rubbish." I'm like, "No," but I'm having to watch it at like 11 o'clock at night,
Exactly,
and I just knackered, and I
Yeah.
can't get
Yeah,
through
can't
it.
be
So,
doing it.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Mr. Strange, we did. We've
did.
already done that.
quite a lengthy discussion.
Yeah,
but
just to recap,
yeah,
too expensive, not for us. Probably.
yeah,
It's
not good enough.
Yeah,
It's
we're,
the best
we're
Robert De Niro head sculpt I've ever seen.
we're the poorer side of collecting now.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, so this is the.
Although I'm
so
not
this
sure
one-
Shane is. I mean, he says he's a teacher, but he must be cooking stuff on the side because he's bought 2 DX19s, 3 Jokers. So
Just
yeah,
come back from
something going on there.
Dubai.
Yeah, exactly.
In my defence, the money
Crystal
was
meth.
just resting in my account. No, in my defence, like I do stay in my own lane a lot. Like I really do.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
that
tend
is true.
not to FOMO into stuff. Like you know, what I mean, we could have like the next like let's say if I was on the next show and the show after that or the show, I could be just like, nah. Do you know? Because
Just that
I
we've
tend not
got
to
you on
FOMO
it,
in.
yeah.
I've never bought a figure from, say, the Marvel TV shows ever.
No.
And I because I think it's meh content, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though I really like that Sam Wilson Captain America with the wings and stuff, I think that's pretty striking looking
definitely
piece.
call him Heisenberg, and he did mention Breaking Bad a few times.
Yeah.
We know what's going on,
Yeah.
Sean. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a problem, mate. Secret's safe with us.
It's 100% just staying in my lane and using payment plans and finding the deals and the blood money.
Yeah, true.
I made that myself today because someone owed me money.
Yeah. So, right, we've got now Young Rich, who are a bit hit miss. They have the Housekeeper for 150 quid at Q3, Q4 2022. This looks as though Lara Croft is going to lock him in a chest freezer somewhere. It just looks. It looks like someone sculpted it out of fucking Play-Doh.
Yeah, it looks very toyish in the middle there, like an Action Man from like
all their stuff lately
years ago
has looked really shit lately.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I like the accessories they've got. They look pretty cool. But yeah, I just no.
No.
Just not for me.
No.
You can tell they're using a generic 20-year-old body as well. Like there's those are some fucking high shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not good. I'm not a fan of this one at all.
No, it doesn't. To me.
Which is a shame because I actually quite like Jeremy Irons as as Alfred. Scott's like Play-Doh.
Yeah. No, it doesn't look good. I was not impressed with this one.
Look. So the Housekeeper's 150. Then for 131 quid, they've got these various types of cyborg football player. Each one slightly worse than the last. We could go through them slide by slide, but I got the feeling the 20 people watching would just disappear very, very quickly. These aren't great. Young Rich are really fucking up lately. They're not doing great.
It's funny because I said to Ian, I was thinking, I saw the show sheet, and I'm like, why the fuck have we got American football players in here? I mean, like, you know, we've been talking recently about how we've been cutting stuff out that we're not interested in. So we've got no Charlie Chaplin in here from Star Race. We've got, you know, I cut some other crap out, and I'm thinking, oh well, he's put it in now. I'll put it in, and it's only when I've pasted the second image on the right, I was like, oh, it says Gotham.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. It's Cyborg from that flashback scene where he was paralysed. It doesn't look anything like him. I mean, I don't mind I thought it was from like Friday Night Lights or something like that. I said, oh, okay, it's an old, you know. I know they like picking up these old licenses and stuff like that. When I saw it, I was like, oh, no. I don't know.
It's such a weird one to do. It is so weird. Like, I get Alfred because...
Yeah.
You know, we get a Batman figure, inevitably we get an Alfred pop up somewhere. This version of Cyborg, particularly when the Cyborg Hot Toys figure isn't out yet, and it's just not great. Like, looking at it, like Young Rich are really like. It's a shame because their Spider-Man stuff I really like. But these I just don't see. Yeah, like Scott says, we're collectors really wanting this. It's a very odd choice. Yeah, but this isn't the Cyborg we wanted.
No, but the other stuff was all from, most of it was from the Spider-Verse, wasn't it? So it was all like that kind of animated cartoon look, and I think they nailed that.
Yeah,
but
they did really well with that.
This looks like an animated character when it should be you know, it's a real actor.
Yeah. So these monstrosities were 130 quid. Sulu Mirrorverse is 165. Out August to September 2022. Oh my! I love this.
Oops.
Absolutely fucking love this.
I went and I watched the episode yesterday because I vaguely remembered it, but I hadn't seen it for a long time. So, and I
was
had
a
to put that
nasty
little,
bastard.
yeah,
in
he
that.
was. He really was. And I love that. I
Absolutely evil.
had to put that quote in that says, "This suit is
Yeah.
ambitious, homicidal, and a sexual predator. He'll do anything to become captain." When you see it, he's harassing Uhura, isn't he, constantly?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like,
He's an absolute scumbag.
He really
absolute scumbag.
yeah,
But he plays it so well. So well. See, this is the thing. Like, I look at my collection, I think we're talking at like 300 odd quid for figures. And then we've got X06 doing the Lord's work here at 165. And I'm like, I want Star Trek figures. I could quite happily tomorrow go through my collection and go, that, and that. Fuck it off. And go down the Star Trek route. The only problem with X06 is they sell out so quickly that unless you get it at release for that price, you are paying that £300 after. So yeah, it's not great in that regard, but the figures are
what
great.
the release date for Cisco? I don't, but obviously their stuff is, it goes up for pre-sale and it's out in 3 months. And actually, a lot of this stuff, a lot of the figures now, they're saying they're going to be, it's not a pre-order, and I think this is one of them. You order it and it's going to ship. It's ready to go.
Yeah.
It's bringing a real kind of some fresh air to the hobby, and I am preparing myself to make some. They haven't quite hit my my focus yet, but obviously, with this the mirror Spock, the mirror Sulu, we know that obviously there's going to be the classic versions of them. I'd be very much interested in picking up an original series crew, and also the Rutherkan Holy Trinity, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. So I will definitely be making some X06 purchases. I just haven't, released the ones that I'm after, but I'm definitely waiting in the wings.
As soon as those next generation figures hit, and I don't mean the movie versions, proper next gen figures.
Yeah.
I'm on it. That'd be when a large chunk of like these bottom shelves have a bit of a clear out, and stuff like my Lone Predator and the Lone Spider-Man goes, and for these definitely.
So I assume Picard's going to be the first, I think, from that lot, isn't he? They've not.
I think so. They've not put him up.
But I think they've had him. They had him at that show, and it would make.
They had
sense
him, Riker, and a few others, I believe.
Correct. Yeah, the Riker was a bit iffy. I think it's the only one that I didn't think was, a really good sculpt. But no, X06. I mean, I haven't. I can't wait to get one in hand. Scott's saying they're fantastic. I've not heard anything negative from them at all. The guy Nanjin is a super fan, and he's doing this as much to just build his own collection as anything else. And so, you're going to get 100% accuracy, and it's a real labour of love. And I can't wait to get some of these in my collection, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. So we've kind of gone from to space to video, to back to planet Earth.
Yeah.
So we got the Present Toys Future Warrior, 160 quid, Q1 2023. After looking at the indie they've just released, I've always wanted an Arnie.
Yeah.
Particularly a T2 Arnie. So this is amazing. It looks really good. I'm very, very tempted.
And the price as well. I mean,
the price is fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
And they are saying that it's real leather trousers and jacket.
So it won't flake and fall to bits.
And so.
160 quid, mate. I'm all over that.
And I think, as you said, the present toys indie, it's not without its faults. And obviously, as people that have built custom versions, it's not on a par, but it's pretty passable. I think if you swap the trousers out, you do a bit of weathering on the jacket and stuff, you got a decent figure. There's some good stuff in there, and I think that a lot of people were kind of waiting for that. And I think on the back of that, I think you could have some confidence in ordering this figure now and knowing that it's going to be, pretty well tailored, and obviously the real leather's quite an advantage in terms of longevity on that stuff. It looks cool. You get the minigun, which is always cool. Miniguns are cool.
Is there any
and the skull
pictures
looks
of it?
pretty good.
Is there any picture of it without the glasses, or is this the only picture?
I don't know if they've put any out. They may have done. I'll have a quick look.
Is this present toys? Is it?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like I probably would never have it without the glasses. I'd probably just have it with. But yeah, it would be good to see one without.
Or even just more angles and stuff like that.
Mm.
So I've seen this photo popping around a bit, like, but I'd like to see.
I think that's the thing with present toys. Up until they actually, people start to get in-hand photos, this is generally all you get. It's like with the indie. But I think the thing with the indie was the pictures that they put out like this to begin with looked shit. Didn't look very good. Because you got to remember with the indie, you didn't have the leather jacket, nothing like that. It was just the first photos that came out were him just in a shirt, and then all of a sudden they kind of added to it.
Right, bear with me a sec. Sure.
So caffeinated coffee fan says, yeah, they put out glasses. Put out a glasses off pick. It's rough. Let's have a look. Oh fuck me, yeah, that is rough.
Yeah.
It's a sharp chin there.
It is, yeah.
That's another weapon.
That is. See, that doesn't look too
so bad there.
But from the side, it looks really cartoony.
But then I don't know, for 160, with the glasses on, it looks. I don't know why the chin doesn't look so bad with the glasses. I think it's angle and some of that. But
there's glasses we have to wear as well when we look at it.
But you can forgive it. It's 160 quid, and I think with the glasses on there, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it definitely looks better with the glasses.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's when we look at a £450 figure,
that looks bad there.
No excuse. When you look at a 160 quid figure, you kind of go, I can cut it some slack.
They picked the right
that's
scene.
That's not
as
a good
well.
angle, that one. But if you can, because the chin is just too. But yeah, I think it's I think for the price you can't go wrong.
Well, I think like Bob said here, there's no shortage of decent third-party Arnie sculpts. You could quite happily, for less than 200 quid, you could get a pretty decent Arnie out of it.
Yeah.
So that was Arnie. So into the video game world, we have the Storm Collectibles Sub-Zero, 208 quid at January to March 2023. So not long ago we showed the Scorpion, and now we have the Sub-Zero. I really like this. I feel so. A guy wanted me to print him a Sub-Zero and a Scorpion head sculpt, and then they announced these. So I had them printed, and they're sitting on my side, and we're not doing it anymore because these come out. But the only thing I don't like about these is the elbows.
Yeah. That's the thing that jumps
takes you away from it.
Yeah.
Now,
everything else is great.
If you're displaying it like this, the elbows really, really put me off. If you're like that in the old Mortal Kombat pose, happy days. Happy days.
Yeah. No, I think it looks great. And as you say, you either got to go with the pose where you can't see them, or you do a body swap. But then I'm not sure. We talked about it before, didn't we, with the Scorpion? Presumably you can slide those gauntlets off of the arms and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it looks cool. I like it. I like the quilted, whatever you'd call it. I don't know. What is that? Tabard.
It's a dinner lady tabard.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I like it. It's quite cool. And you've got to have it. If you're getting a Scorpion, you've got to have this guy.
So added here, just Facebook messaged me those photos that you just put up, and I just messaged him back saying that Terminator chin is worthy of Chuck Norris. Like, I think that's what they've kind of done, is just taken his giant chin off.
Yeah.
But like Bob says with this one,
That's the thing. Yeah. If you're passionate enough about the character, then you know,
I can see why they've done it with the elbows. You can get that real like Mortal Kombat kind of pose, but it's just like that. It doesn't look that great. If you order through Bluefin Bandai, you get free shipping and exclusive accessories. Nice. So go on, Pete. You talk us through these next two, because this is all you with your with your Roman fetish.
Yeah, I think
he's a bastard for sandals, is Pete.
Yeah, he hasn't got sandals on. This one. So this is the
this one.
Yeah, the Roman general. So this is from Gladiator, the Russell Crowe figure. Yeah, I think I like this one because this is one of those figures that there was a clothing kit came out quite a few years ago. I can't even remember I think it was Caustic Plastic, I think, or something like that. So it was, a lot of people were kit bashing this. There was some third-party sculpts. People were using the Jarrell from the Superman film, things like that. And it was quite a nice set. You had to put it all together yourself, so there was a lot of like lacing and stuff required at the boots and things like that. And I did own one. I had one for a while, and it was a nice set. So it's kind of nice to see, somebody getting on. It's a long time. I think it's 20 odd years since Gladiator came out, but it's a great film.
Great film.
Great look. And the head sculpt is dog shit on this. You can't. I'm not going to mince my words on that. It's bad, but I think the rest of it looks really good. And obviously, there are much better Russell Crowe sculpts out there. So if you were to pair this with one of those, then it looked really great. So there's three versions. So there's I believe it's meant to say regular, but they've swapped the R and the L. So it's the because I don't think that's a word in any sense of the.
It's written in regular Latin.
Yeah. I don't know why they got to pick him with no clothes, Scott. It's weird because it doesn't look like the body is particularly of any.
It looks like an old school Action Man. A 90s Action Man body is what they're giving you.
It does, and so there's three versions, and I don't know why because I don't remember there being. This looks like the one that I had. The kit one, and then you've got the black armor edition.
I seem to remember the black armor and not the gold armor, but it's been ages since I've seen the film.
Yeah, I need to go back and have a look. I'm not sure which.
Because that normal, stoic-looking head doesn't look too bad, but the one where he's suddenly turned into a Vulcan.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't get it. Yeah.
So it's exactly the same, but with obviously the black armor, and then
I think they misunderstood when they said they said some Roman man was called Romulus, and went, "Oh, Romulan, yeah, he must be."
Yeah,
he must be
he definitely looks.
And gave him the pointy eyebrows and
Romulan.
everything.
Then you've got the copper plate edition, which I think, if I was buying one, that's quite a nice look. But then I'd have to go back and see which one was actually screen accurate. I kind of feel in the black one.
But I think isn't the black one like an amalgamation of like his actual gladiator outfit? Like I thought his gladiator outfit was black.
It was, yeah, but I don't know. It's weird that they've got three versions. Head sculpt's the same and horrible on all of them, but and then there's a horse available.
It looks very small.
It does, doesn't it? This is my war pony.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. But it seems to match up more with the black armor, and that may well be that was more that colour. I'll have to go back and have a look. But so the Roman generals, they're all 225 quid, I think, whichever version you get, and the horse is 185, all due out Q3 2022. Yeah, Ryan says if InArt did a great Gandalf figure, that would be tempting. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of nice, there's a lot of different materials there. I mean, if you did that armor in metal, you got the fur and everything. It could look really nice. You've got, some good stuff in there. Okay, no problem. Yeah, but you'd be paying, obviously, top dollar for that. And I enjoyed the figure I had before, but it was just one of those things where it just didn't go with anything, and it felt a little bit, although it was obviously from the Gladiator movie, it felt a little bit like it was just one of those where people just collect these historical figures like knights in armor and things like that, and it didn't really. It kind of, as the way my collection was going, didn't really fit, and I sold it on and stuff. But it's got a presence to it.
Yeah, I think if you have like a gladiator figure, it's kind of got to be from the Colosseum when he's fighting.
Yeah, definitely.
If you get it from like the 5 minutes at the beginning, you kind
exactly.
of people then go, oh, that's Russell Crowe Gladiator. If you kind of go as the Roman general version, you kind of go, oh, okay.
Like, you've got a Roman general.
Yeah.
So. There we are. That's everything that's coming soon. So it's got a nice little selection of stuff.
Yeah,
something for everyone.
I think this week we've been spoiled because the last few weeks it's been really slim pickings. But the last couple of days,
there's a lot of stuff we've left out because we just go, well, it looks alright, but we don't know anything about it. So we've had to be a bit more selective. Just to kind of keep it in order, but there's some good stuff there.
Yeah. So, have you got time for shenanigans?
I'd stay for shenanigans.
Yep.
Everyone stays for shenanigans.
They do.
So let's do it.
Shenanigans!
What? That's my favourite by far. My favourite. My absolute favourite. So, shenanigans. What we wanted to talk about was what's the limit? For ages and ages and ages, we've been saying we've got a limit. Things get to a certain price, and we're just out. Like Pete said before, it seems that a lot of people have always said, "I've got a limit, and I'm not going over it."
Yeah.
And now with InArt, people are kind of going, "Oh, well, actually, maybe I can just push it a little bit further." But I've noticed lately, like obviously times are tight, things are lean, but I'm looking at my collection a bit differently now, and I'm going, okay, back when I could go right, get paid 200 quid a month, I'll buy a figure. When it was sitting around 200, or even when it was getting 230, 240, around that kind of mark, I could kind of go, when I get paid, I'd have a scroll through, and if there was anything I saw that I quite liked, boom, I'd buy it. Wouldn't bat an eyelid, not a problem. And then I'd kind of be on eBay and having a look about, 150 quid, yeah, right, fuck it, I love that, bang.
Yeah.
Now things, and what I've noticed is it's not even just the price of full figures, it's everything.
Yeah.
120 quid for 8 Hot Toys head sculpts and all that kind of shenanigans. And I'm like, it's getting to the point now where I'm having a serious look, and I'm going, okay, cancelling pre-orders left, right and centre, and then going, I really want that, so I'll pay that, but I'm not prepared to go over that kind of £300 mark. The only way I'd go over £300 now is, I've done it a couple of times, obviously my DeLorean, obviously over 300 quid.
Yeah, of course.
When I bought Chewbacca, that was bang on 300 quid. Yeah. And that was about 4 or 5 years ago. They kind of released it. It went mad. No one could get one for love.
Yeah, that was crazy because people were giving, like, I had a pre-order and it got cancelled, and there was a real scrabble to try and get him. And I paid paid 260, 270 for him. Yeah,
it was absolute madness. And when I look at my collection, there's figures in there that I've paid. So my quarter scale Vader, 450 off Rainer, right? Banging price for a quarter scale. Now I don't mind spending out on quarter scales like that, but 6 scale, I just and I know we're looking at, people are saying there's all this new innovation. I don't mind paying for innovation if I can see it brings me a benefit. A lot of the stuff we're seeing, I'm not seeing a lot of benefit. I like the idea.
Are you saying? Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. But are you saying being able to stick your Heath Ledger Joker to the fridge is not innovation?
Well,
I can make him look like he's walking up to the fridge, man.
It's
innovation,
Batman, but is it pointless
Batman
innovation?
That would work for them.
The only way is up. Scale up to statues. The air is rare. Join me and ride the polystone pony to poverty. Now, I thought about statues. I like that. I have thought about statues, and the only thing with me and statues is I like the photography side of things as well. I like the custom side of things, and don't get me wrong, you can do all the custom stuff with statues, but there just seems to be more flexibility with 6 scale. You know, I can pose them. When I get a bit bored, I can mess about with it, and I get it in a new pose. They can interact with each other a bit more, so I can actually do some bigger pictures with a few more figures. I can't really do that with statues.
I think you messed up. You said seems to be. There definitely is. Statues are statues. I agree. Yeah. I just can't. Statues do nothing for me. I get that the scale and the detail and stuff, but the only statues that I would even
see what I did there, Bob. See what I did there.
The only statues that are even of any interest are mixed media ones. The only one I've got is the premium format indie, and he's got all real clothes and stuff. A fully sculpted statue, I full respect to people that are into that kind. It just doesn't do anything for me. For me, it's all about the outfit, the accessories, and I don't tend to repose my figures much, but I can have a pose that I want, that I'm happy with. I can change it if I want. So for me, 1/6 is very much the sweet spot. I've bought smaller figures. I started off with smaller figures, but I tend to move them on. I do pick ones up. Oh, that's nice. I'll get that, and then they just sit around, and I'm like, not really get any much enjoyment from those and move them on. So 1/6 for me is where it's at, definitely. And when you're pushing those statue prices, and I know that the statue guys, the big thing is the numbered release and stuff like that. As far as I know, these are not going to be. Are they going to be numbered? These the InArt ones?
So.
No,
I don't think so. I think if they've started to release numbered stuff in 6 scale, it's just pointless.
Yeah,
I don't see the point, and that's a big appeal to me. Is it not being numbered? I don't want to have to. I'd have to pay thousands of pounds for something because of a number.
No, I know.
Someone's written in biro on the bottom of it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just seems madness to me.
So I get that people say, "No, I could go to statues," but I think statues aren't for me. They take up a lot of space as well because they tend to be obviously quarter scale, really, to give you that kind of that visual heft and stuff. And
unless you spend like thousands of pounds, I don't think the paintwork is.
No. If you talk about Prime 1 stuff, then maybe.
Yeah.
But do you want one statue or do you want 10 figures? People will argue either way and say with the quality and everything. But again, like I said, there's too many. I love Star Wars and I like all the characters. I can't just have, one or two. And then what do you do if there isn't, because in 1/6, most characters are now represented in some way or another from certain companies. There aren't decent representations of a lot of characters in statue form. So you've got to kind of be a lot more selective and just say, actually, I'm happy just having 3 or 4 Star Wars characters instead of 40. And I don't think I could be that kind of selective. But Caffeinated Confess Gandalf is any character I'd consider at that price. And I sort of said to myself, maybe I would, but having seen it and not being blown away with it as much as
you did, John. You did.
Well, he'd buy them if they were numbered.
If you say limited run 3 times, John appears. He's like the candidate.
Be interested to see if John's ordered this. I don't know if he has or not. John, have you ordered this?
I think the Joaquin Phoenix Joker that InArt are going to do 1/6. It says LEO1 next to that. Does that stand for limited edition 1?
No.
Is that the first number figure they're going to do?
Wow.
Could be.
It's the only one on the list.
Yeah,
With
Okay.
a code next to
that's
it.
very interesting. Yeah.
One of the lads was saying it, like, I think it was Ben the other day said it. Yeah, just I know that could potentially be their first limited one.
I just don't see it working for 6 scale. Like I don't doubt that someone's going to give it a go, and that could be what it stands for. But
Yeah.
I just don't see it working for 6 scale. It works for statues, and the
It's
thing
just-
is, what I've
But
always
why does it work for statues? Why do you think it works for statues? Because to me, it's just an excuse to
I think
stick
the
some
thing-
price on it.
The thing
to
with statues
add a premium.
is they're so fragile that I almost
Yeah.
think like they say they make 200 of them, and they ship them out, and then 50 of them are broken. It just seems that by the very nature of them being bought and sold, the number just keeps getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, yeah. And that also is, I think, is a disadvantage. Whereas, with the 1/6, we move our collections around, we buy, we sell, and generally they hold up fairly well. You can repackage a figure, you can send it on. You buy a statue, do not sell that to anyone, because the chances are that fucker's going to end up broken when it gets to the buyer.
Get
So
'em
you've
round
got to
to
be
pick it
really
up.
committed. Yeah. So you've got to want that statue and be prepared to keep it. I think, because it's not something you can kind of move on. And I think certainly me and Ian, we've sold on a lot of figures, and that's kind of what keeps you going, because you've always got something there that actually I can sell that because there's something new coming. So I mean, from my point of view, it's very much hit the limit and gone beyond with 400 quid. And even me, 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, when I started getting into this hobby, didn't have a mortgage, didn't have a house, didn't have the family and stuff. Even then, I think I'd have been going, I've got the disposable income, but that's a lot of money. Whereas me now, with house, bills, commitments, family, kids, I can't, and it's never been about me justifying the price of stuff to the other half or anything like that, because the instant you try and justify the price of this stuff, you're on a losing battle, because when you say, well, that was 200 quid, they're going to go, you fucking what? So to go to the 400, but it's not even about that. I can't justify that to myself.
No, you buy it because you value it yourself. Like,
exactly.
it's just that old thing that Warren Buffett: the price is what you pay, the value is what you get. You buy it because I'd be pretty disciplined. Like I tend not to just FOMO into things. Like the odd time maybe I'm on the fence with something, I see a deal or something, but in general I tend to stay in my lane, like, so I can splurge when I want to. Like, but we do buy with our hearts a lot of the time as opposed to our wallets. If you really like that character and you really like that trilogy, or you really like that movie or TV show, and you see some company just knocks out in the park, you're like, all these rules we have, they go out the window, like, because you go, you know what I mean? They do. You kind of justify it to yourself a lot, like, because I know, would the conversation, if the head sculpt on the Gandalf was like perfect, would you consider it then, Pete, for the exact same price? If it was just like up there with the inner,
I would find it a harder decision to pass on it, but I
still
think I'd have to turn it down, because I've got 2 Gandalfs, and I'm quite up until now I've been very happy with those representations of them, and I certainly had no worries about passing on the Crown Series Gandalf. And with this one as well, yes, if it was spot on, it would have been harder, but I just don't. To me, I can't go to that sort of money, and there's two sides to that as well. One, I'm glad that I've been in this hobby 10 years, and that my collection now, I've got pretty much everything I want, and I'm just adding the odd figure in here and there. You know, if we haven't had like, you know, the Doc Brown from Back to the Future one, going with Marty. There's ones that we haven't had. If I was starting to collect now, I think I'd be out before I even started, to be honest, because trying to build up a 50, 60, 70 figure collection now is serious money.
I think people need to start, like, especially new collectors, they need to maybe put the word collect aside and swap it out for curate. And just see, like, okay, you don't have to have 2 Tusken Raiders and a bunch of clone troopers, whatever. You could just pick what you like. Like, maybe have one representation of the characters you like, and you don't have to complete a line. And, you know, like, I'm not a completionist, thankfully. I don't need
I
Mandalorian, so I don't.
No.
You know, but at the same time, if there's 2 Iron Mans I really, really like, fair enough. Like, but it's like, I think people need to be a bit more in control of what they like, as opposed to maybe being enabled.
As to what's popular.
Yeah, but the flip side is what I just said there.
Like, there's definitely FOMO's real.
Yeah, and you do get dragged into it occasionally. I get that.
But especially now,
takes the head.
When you don't need to pre-order anything. You could just go like, perfect example. That Batman and Bat Signal pack. I'm told that's 100%. Like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I'm getting that. Like, but I haven't gone near it yet because there's no reason why. No. So if in the next year I cool on that, then I won't get it. But I don't think that I'm going to cool it. But I'll probably slap a payment plan on it. Maybe.
It's just fun, isn't it? Because then you've got people saying, well, if you don't pre-order it, then they're not going to make stuff because they don't think people.
They'll probably make less, but they'll still make. You know what I mean?
I kind of see stuff now like InArt Studios, fantastic. You know, Gandalf looks stunning. It looks really good. I kind of see that as now that's your top shelf. That's your Rolls Royce now. Hot Toys aren't what they were.
No.
Okay. No. But that's because they've not really pushed the envelope. Whereas InArt has shown us what's possible now. I don't mind having a premium figure that's up there that you kind of go, okay, fantastic. But what I think's really kind of the rub at the moment is that if you set kind of 400, 450-ish as like your top bar, that's your Rolls Royce of figures. Brilliant. You can kind of then go every once in a while. You go, okay, I can maybe stretch to that if I don't buy anything else for like 6 months. I'll get that. But the problem we have is that we've always said that Sideshow's your bottom of the pile is that's your fucking Lidl, right? That's your stuff like that. And you kind of go, okay, but they're expensive. They're pumping up at 250, and you go, okay, I'm not getting the value there. I'm not getting any value whatsoever there. You then go up to Hot Toys and look, what do you say, 280 for a Doctor Strange? And you kind of go, that's not worth 280, and we're kind of punching those high numbers there, and then you only go like £100 more, and then you're at and you're here at the InArt level now. Where I'm seeing loads more value are these third-party companies, and I think what we're going to start to see is a lot more third-party companies popping up, and a lot more people picking those types of things up. But the problem with those is they don't fit in with the collection. I'm mainly Star Wars, so I'm having to now look at stuff I've pre-ordered. I'm having to look at the releases and go, actually, not do I like that character? Do I think it's worth the money? Do I like Jango? Do I feel comfortable spending? I mean, how much did we say Jango was? Was that 270 as well?
Yeah, 250, 260.
Yeah, Jango 240. So Jango was so Jango was 240 plus shipping plus tax, because that was a sideshow price. So that's gonna punch in at about £300 by the time everything's paid. Is that worth 300 quid? No, it really isn't. The head sculpt's not great. The blocky kind of fucking Minecraft armour is weird.
Yeah.
And I don't remember it being like that in the film. That's not worth 300 quid. But I think over the years, as collectors, what we've done is we've fucked it for ourselves with this whole day one pre-order type shit, where because we're paying for someone to queue up and they put their wedge on and then they've added even more on top of that as well, companies have gone, people will pay it. And now we're paying an absolute arm and a leg for 2-year-old delayed figures that aren't even that good. So I'm now going to start to be really, really selective over what I want, and what I might even do as an exercise, completely clear my collection out the display cabinet, and start to put stuff back in, and what doesn't fit in stays. It goes. It just goes.
Yeah, and my worry is that obviously, having said that, I've got the collection more or less where I want it. I'm just adding odd bits in. If I get to a point where I'm not buying any new figures, either because there's nothing I want or that I can't justify the prices anymore, at what point do you kind of start to stagnate on the hobby? Because I think a part of it is that kind of, you still get that hit from getting a figure and opening up the figure and stuff like that. If your collection is kind of set and you're like, well, I can't buy anymore because I can't be paying this money, at what point do you kind of think, well, actually,
Yeah, you kind of get to a point
really
where I'm done because.
Yeah, and I know you've been buying your Warhammer stuff and everything because from what you get for the money.
Yeah, I mean, for 250 quid, I'm buying a whole fucking army. I'm buying boxes of stuff that I can then paint and collect in exactly the same way we do with this stuff. And I can use it more. I actually physically use it. So that's kind of filling a little. That's kind of filling a little itch. But I think if you kind of have to, if you're looking at purely from, are these things worth what we pay? Am I going to enjoy it? Do I have that particular love for the character? Like, I think it's just been now. I'm getting this at a phase where I'm going to have to be a lot more selective. I'm going to have to look and think, do I actually really fucking want that? Because then if I do go 6 months and I don't buy anything, I'm in my head. I'm then going to be more likely to go. Maybe I will go for that £400 figure, but because at least with Gandalf. Now, I know there's loads of pointless innovation as far as I see it with like magnets and shit like at least with that they're trying, we've got a few bits and pieces. Now, don't get me wrong, like with the Joker giving me little individual metal bullets, it's very nice that you can do that, but I don't want that.
How much does that add to the cost of that?
Yeah, exactly. At least with that you can kind of see the value, but where we're just getting the same old shit by Hot Toys, and they're pumping up them prices, and Sideshow as well. Sideshow just as bad, in fact worse.
And the other problem we're seeing, which we've mentioned before, is the fact that yourself, me and you, Ian, we've been we look out for bargains. You've bought broken figures. I've been buying a lot of these old Sideshow figures and upgrading them. The prices of those are going ridiculous now because people are seeing that people are being priced out of the new stuff. And whereas people were going on and picking up those Sideshow figures for 40, 50 quid, now people want 150 quid, and then they are selling at that because
£150 for the episode 3 Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Whoever lists it for that needs to be shot.
I know.
Absolute joke of a figure.
Guys, I got to bounce out now. There's,
no problem, mate.
Thanks very much for having me in. And
no worries.
Good to have you, mate.
Again, maybe 2 weeks, and hopefully we get some announcements on the way.
Yeah.
So thanks a million, guys.
See you next
time, mate.
See you
later.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.
So I paid way too much for that Rebel Trooper, but I wanted him, and I think that this is the thing that it's just dragging all the prices up. because people want to collect. They want the representations of these figures. They're saying, I can't afford the 300 quid for the the Jango Fett from Hot Toys, so I'm going to look at the Medicom one or the old Sideshow one, and people are going, yeah, actually I can probably get another 50 quid for that now, because it's still half the price of the Hot Toys one. So I feel like even that, and like you said, the cost of parted out bits, even that's been taken away from us now. There's there aren't any bargains anymore.
No, you see, I used to like incomplete, broken figures. I used to like them as projects. So a big part of the hobby for me was tinkering with stuff, repainting stuff, modding it, messing about with it, and seeing what I can do with it. That's tailed right off, because you go through. I look now and I go through on eBay and stuff, and I see like people selling actual properly fucked up stuff for like 200 quid, and I'm like, what are you doing?
I know.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Someone was selling a Kylo Ren body with the clothing on, and I just saw it flashing through Facebook, 220 quid. Well, I can't even get rid of a complete Kylo Ren for like 220.
Bizarre,
I don't know what is going on.
No. No.
I just find it, so at the moment it's a real weird time. Now I don't know if like give it 6 months, it all stabilises and it all kind of hits some kind of normality. But at the moment I'm very much like, I like 6 scale, and I think I'd always keep my hand in. Yeah. But I'm not going to be spending money like I have been in the last sort of few years.
And we've not even brought into the equation really the fact that the cost of living crisis that kind of the world's going through at the moment, and the fact that that 200 quid that you might have had a month to spend on a figure is now going to go on your fucking heating or your electricity or your petrol, food. So that's been taken away from everybody, I guess, and that's why I suppose it's an even harder nut to swallow, as somebody would say on CW, harder pill to swallow when you're struggling to kind of pay for the day-to-day stuff, and they're whacking more and more money on these, making like even more unattainable, even more of a real kind of special, only once in a while purchase, rather than something that you can regularly once a month pick up a figure and build a collection. Now it's going to be like, right, okay, I can afford 4 figures this year. What are they going to be? Which is sad in a way.
Problem is you can't. It's also a very hard. It's a very hard hobby to budget anything for.
Yeah. Because
of the delays on things, because of how long things take. If you go for a payment plan, you could pay that off and it'd be sitting there a year, because of how long it's delayed, or like suddenly, like we have with Jango and Luke, and look at Gideon, like boom, all within the space of a couple of days, 2 on the same day. You kind of go, fuck's sake.
And that, exactly. Like, unless
they're
all paid off, £1,000
release.
Yeah, unless they're all paid off, or you've put that money away, you've suddenly got to come up with that, and that's like that's going to possibly put you in a bit of trouble. So it is very difficult. Yeah, I get that, and it's. I still love the hobby. I still really enjoy it. I still really enjoy doing this and everything. But you'll become more and more of just an outsider, just looking in rather than being an active part of the community. And it surprises me how many people don't seem that bothered about the price of this, and they're all saying it's quite a bargain, because people saying, well, I thought it was going to be $600 or $700, so $500, bargain. I can't quite see it like that, but if you can, all power to you. But
I mean, we're not going anywhere, but it's certainly a challenging time for everyone. I think.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So Pete, you've been working on some bits, so let's play my little video.
Custom Corner.
Oh, it's just my indie sculpt. I showed a picture last show. So this is the second sculpt from the Dark Toys Rick, the Deckard figure. I think it's a really strong sculpt. So I always bought it with the I bought it second hand off Facebook because I really fancied the figure anyway. It looked really good. I didn't pre-order him, and I was like, and I couldn't find him anywhere. And then somebody had one. Had a good deal on one, and so it was always my intention to use one of them, the head sculpts for an indie, just to see how it came out. So basically, chop the top of the head off. I originally had a Medicom hat on it because this is a Medicom outfit. So it's not this. It's really just there as a placeholder at the moment. The outfit's okay, but the Medicom bodies were quite small. So this is quite a slim body, and it looks alright. I repainted the jacket and stuff, but it's not. The intention really is not to. It's just somewhere to put the head sculpt at the moment.
Yeah.
So I had the Medicom hat, and it's not a great hat, and I wasn't happy with it. Somebody had. I bought the Rocco hat from his latest. It's too big. It's quite oversized. But I had this one, and this is this metal. This hat.
Yeah.
It's from. They brought out a set. I've got it in my display. It's they brought out like a crate, with property of Dr. Jones on, and inside there was snakes. There was
I remember it. Yeah.
Yeah, bits and pieces, and it had like a metal whip, and which was designed to just sit on the top, and this metal hat, and it's got indentations in, so it's designed to sit on the corner of the.
Oh, okay.
So it's got a really weird sort of shape inside. So I tried to figure out whether or not I could kind of leave any of the head above it to go in, and I thought no, I've just got to take it off.
Yeah.
But then you've got because it's never designed to be worn, it's got some like bits that stick out, so it didn't. So it was a lot of work to kind of just shaving tiny bits off without losing too much of the sculpt to get the hat to fit. So I got there and there's a little gap, and I thought, well, I'll add some real hair. So the hair's all, goat's hair stuff, like around the sides and the back and everything, and that kind of helped to just fill that little gap. Just did the stubble, sort of quite heavy stubble, like at the start of Raiders was the look I was going for, because it's quite a younger looking sculpt on this one. I really like it. I think the likeness is great. I think it would benefit from a proper professional repaint. I mean, I haven't repainted the whole thing, but for the moment I'm quite happy, and I might try it out. What I've done now is I've removed the neck because it had a sculpted neck. But all of my other indies are all they're necklace sculpts, and obviously the bodies have got necks. So I thought, well, actually, I'd rather have it so that I can, if I want to swap it around on other ones. So I've just removed the neck and kind of dremeled it all out inside to get that. So yeah, that's just what I've been working on. But I think it's decent. It's actually, it's a good Harrison Ford likeness. So if
I really like it. I like the sculpt. I think it's good.
Yeah, it is really good, and it's supposed to be it's meant to be a recast of the Buffy Deckard sculpt.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty good sculpt. He's recently done an indie one, which I hate. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I don't think it looks anything like it.
I think is better. So, weirdly, it's come out really well. So, yeah, definitely. If you want to get that figure, it's a great figure, the Deckard, and also you get the extra sculpt if you want to have a go at getting an indie. It's been good fun.
It looks good. That I do like it.
Yeah.
I've been messing around with bits and pieces. So I've been doing the bullets. I've been starting to paint them up.
Oh yeah, from Roger Rabbit.
So I've started to do those, and then I had a load of foam board. So I've been making Warhammer scenery. I need to change the lands out because they're bullshit, but it's all foam board and a bit of ply kind of thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like that, with some lollipop sticks. And then, I've forgotten all about this, but do you know the layer sculpt that I had? The spare one?
Yeah.
The one that I fucked up?
Yes.
So, what I did, so I didn't have to keep fucking about with the head sculpts, is I repainted the A New Hope one and shoved it. I don't know if it's going to focus or yeah. So I did that, but what I did was round here, so round these bits, you could see all the old hair, the colour. So all I did was repaint, kind of applied a load of washes till it kind of fitted in the same colour. And then I had to repaint the lips on it because on A New Hope she's wearing like bright red lipstick, and obviously in Return of the Jedi she isn't. So all I did, and then I fixed it. So I had to cut the top of the head off and the back, get it in the helmet, and then use the silicone putty to whack it in. But I much prefer the New Hope sculpt to the Return of the Jedi one. I just think it looks better. So she ends up.
Yeah, no, it is a great sculpt, the New Hope one. I think that
because the thing is, I'd fucked it up, didn't I, when I was trying to dick about with stuff years back, and it's one of those sculpts that's always sat in my bit box, and I've always been like, "Fuck, am I going to do with it?"
Yeah.
And I like the Return of the Jedi sculpts, but I thought, well, actually, if I've got the helmet on one, and then her unhelmeted one on the other, it just means I don't have to keep fucking about with the hat. So I ended up doing that while I was doing all that other crap. But I forgot all about that.
So where have you got the other? What have you got the other head on something else, or you just swap them out?
No, just swap them out. I mean, I did stick it on my Bosch figure. Yeah. But that's a train wreck of a figure in a way. Like it's this old sideshow and it doesn't quite marry up. It didn't look right because I need a new chest piece and stuff like that. So I thought I'd just leave it in the collection on the side. But I'm definitely going to start to take stuff out and put it back in and see what actually I can leave out. Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty much all my crap that I worked on. So, Mr. Pete, you saw Doctor Strange,
it's a shame Shane's gone because he's seen it, and he obviously wasn't as didn't sound like he liked it quite as much as I did. My take on it, I enjoyed it. We went with like 4 of the dads and the lads, the boys. So you know, it was a kind of nice little dads and lads outing. So it was good fun, and I think the way I see Marvel now is when we had like the whole whatever phase, you know, the movies that culminated in Endgame. I think I had a real kind of commitment to those. So, you know, you got invested in it all, and you know, you followed that story through to a fantastic, Infinity War and Endgame. Now that's kind of finished. That was kind of my journey with Marvel was done, you know, and like we got rid of the figures and everything, because I think after that it was kind of like, okay, well now they're going to move on to other characters. Now they have in some ways, because obviously we don't have Tony Stark, we don't have Captain America stuff anymore, so they've moved on to other characters, but you've still got obviously some of the more OG characters. So you've got Doctor Strange, you've got Scarlet Witch and stuff, and they've had various TV shows. But I'm not so invested now. I'm not so worried. I see them more as like more standalone and just go and watch them and have a bit of fun. So I don't really care. I don't care so much kind of like where they're going with it. I didn't like Eternals. I just didn't think that was a great movie. This is loads of fun. It's absolutely bonkers. But it's well done. Like the CGI and stuff's amazing. I'm not the biggest Doctor Strange fan. We watched the first one the other week because obviously my boy wanted to see it before he went and saw this one. And we watched a lot of the Marvel, but we hadn't watched Doctor Strange because I was never really a massive fan. I think the films is quite a slow, like the first Doctor Strange is quite a slow one. Yeah, to actually get going, and I thought he'd be bored because if it's sometimes if it's not all action and stuff to start with, he'll kind of like just zone out. But actually, he quite enjoyed it. And then we watched the What If one, where he went, had the dark version of him and all that kind of thing. So, but it was good fun. I would recommend it just as a kind of a casual watch. And obviously the next one we've got is Thor, and again, would I? Because I was quite happy to skip this one in the cinema, like yourself, and just pick it up, when it goes on demand. And I wasn't too worried. And then one of my boy's friend's dad said, "Oh, should we go and see it?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, we'll go out and see it and everything." And I did enjoy it, but it wasn't like I have to go and see this. Opening weekend like I might have been. And the same with Thor. It looks good, looks fun. Am I bothered about going opening day? No. But I will see it. I'm more excited. I'm quite excited about Maverick. Booked in for that. And also Jurassic World Dominion. More excited about those. But yeah, I think this is quite enjoyable. I'd be interested to chat with Shane about like what he didn't like about it, beyond the fact that maybe he doesn't like. He said he wasn't the biggest Doctor Strange fan. Me neither, but I like Wanda, like Scarlet Witch, and obviously she's quite integral to the plot as well. So no, it's good. I say you might, I wouldn't say rush to the cinema, but it's definitely worth watching.
The trailers look good. I mean, I do want to watch it.
Yeah.
Because I really like Sam Raimi and I like his films, so I think this is. And looking at the trailers and looking at the posters, it's all very, very Sam Raimi. So
and obviously Mr. Campbell makes an appearance. There's some very cool cameos and sort of cross universe, cross license kind of, stuff without telling you, characters that you may have seen before, or versions of characters that may go on to do more stuff in the future. So there's some good stuff in there. But yeah. Cool. So I think we've reached the start of the show. We're gonna. Yep. That's all our content. We're going to do all the housework now. So, I'm just going to thank all of our wonderful. No, the last ending credit scene was not worth the wait, but they never are. I think the mid-credit one is the one that's the banger now, or is worth seeing, and then the one at the end is just kind of almost like, haha, you sat through 10 minutes of credits, and
it's like fuck you.
Yeah, they are pretty much. I think most of them have been lately, but I don't mind. So thanks very much to the generosity of our Patreonies. So I'll give you a shout out. We've got Sean Fear, Ian Seaby, René Mendes, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, Leah Hernandez, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, James Colley, Equan, Chris Van Serena, Ben Thomas, Chris Leddy, David Jones, Sam Gist, Dominator, Joao Breda, Danny Lee, Dini Martin, Stephen Crett, Big Fern, King Zach, Caesar Marroquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Babonsky, Rick De Gregorio, John the Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Owen Asusina, Illustrious Rainer, Alan Morgan, Takar 3, Wah, Derek Biazinski, Carlos Saavedra, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Maton, Bowler Boy, Jimmy James, Stephen Purchase, Sean Yahtzee, Scott Bradley, Stephen Rhea Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. Thank you very much. We love you all. If you want to join the Patreon, we've got 3 tiers. We've got Sweet Angel, $5 per month, which gets you stickers sent straight to your door, as well as access to Ox After Dark replay. Certified Crispy is $15 a month, gets you an official certified Crispy certificate on first pledge, assistance with figure fixes by Zach. And the Water Guy tier, you get the Water Guy exclusive Pog Deluxe set. So it's a card with 6 unpunched Pogs in it. Doubles all the stickers we send, so you can give them to your friends and family, and all the benefits of the previous tiers. So the May Patreon benefits, we have the Bricks and Brews Hollow sticker, and you get a CW Pog. So you'll either get the common one on the left with the white and yellow classic logo, or the Chase one, which I think is roughly 1 in 4, the gold one. And if you join the What a Guy tier, then you get the Pog set on the right there, which obviously includes the Chase version of the CW Pog. So I suppose in that respect, you'd want to get the common one so that you could have both. But some cool stuff there. So we're still in May. That I think the next time we'll be on is June, so we should have some new benefits by then. But there's some good stuff here. Hopefully we might get some of those Pogs. Looking forward to seeing them. YouTube channel members, we've got Mojo Z78, Absolute Irwin, Test Just One, DK Venger 702, OMFG Rick, Mike Oxlong, S Beam, Andres IB, Daminator, Zamgist, OG Fan, the Penrikers, Mark Pearson, Ben Thomas, Justin Arras, Paul Schreiber, Andrew Gibo, CC3PO, Lima Hernandez, and Carlito. So thank you to you guys. If you're Patreon, you can join up for $99 $99 a month. You get loyalty badges, emojis, member shout outs, as I've just done now. Or you can still join up if you're not a Patreon and you become part of the Peanut Gallery, and you get all the perks from the previous level. And they're always adding new emojis and badges and stuff to that. Collecting weekly t-shirts. TeePublic, if you want to get some official CW swag, then that's the place to go. Normally, Matthew is off. Always first in, so
yeah, first in, last out.
Well, not this time, but they, as Zach always says, wait till they've got a sale and you get a t-shirt for $13 or something like that. So I'm going to just put a link in the chat for that. And then that's my bit, and we'll leave you in Ian's capable hands to demolish this sacred network.
I might try and be nice today, but
go for it.
I don't know.
Try it.
So
I'm not sure you can, but you know.
So we've got Collecting Weekly, After Dark, Collecting Weekly Live Unboxing, Collectors Club. There's a lot of collecting there. OFAC,
there's
the
a
Jewel
theme
in the
there
Crown.
somewhere.
There is. OFAC, the Jewel in the Crown,
Definitely.
Bricks and Brews, Pose Wars, Small Talk, The Ringcast, and Live and Let Dice. If ever a bunch of attractive virgins were ever anywhere, it's all here. So this is us. This is the network. This is all the shows. By now, you're probably more than familiar with the Sordid bunch. But give everyone a listen. Everyone works super hard, and there's something for everyone. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to be nice today. There's something for everyone. It's nice. It's good. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yep, and I think I think Brenton's going to become he's going to be sworn in as a official host very soon. So welcome Brenton to the team. Mm-hmm. Welcome.
Zach has a ceremony where he blindfolds you, and you have to suck mayonnaise from a hose.
Oh, that's what he says it is anyway.
That's what we all think it is. But so enjoy. Enjoy.
I'm thinking there should be a ringcast soon, but I don't think Mark's in the chat today, so I'm not sure where we are with that. But I feel like we should be talking about the Gandalf figure on there fairly soon.
Yeah.
And then we've just got clips on there if you want to check out the channel, collecting weekly clips, all the cock ups and funny bits and pieces on there. Worth a look.
Plenty of
them. Yeah, definitely not from us because we're really
perfect,
professional and
we are perfect.
We are perfect. Yeah, definitely. But thanks for everyone for tuning. I think we had like 24, 25 people on at one point. So thanks for everyone for tuning in live and some lively discussion, particularly around our topic of have we, what are our limits and have we met them? Some interesting stuff there. So yeah, it's been a good show.
Yeah, nice one. Cheers, guys, and we shall see you all next time.
Yeah, cool. Take care.
Tatty, bye. Cheers, bye.
Bye.